something living in my swamp today. I'm cold and damp now.
All right, welcome back to the Scare Value Podcast. Pete, do you remember a year ago?
No.
Do you remember yesterday?
No. Wait, what was yesterday?
I don't know.
Did I have some? Oh, man.
I was asking for real. A year ago, we covered Jaws. About a year ago, we covered Jaws.
I thought this seemed familiar. I was going to ask you about it.
And it was one of the few episodes where we had a lot to say.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We did watch it, and we solved the sand dune murders.
Well, we solved it after that.
Well, yeah, but we figured it out because of that episode. I remember.
Yes, that's where it began.
Who was it? Who ended up being guilty?
The only suspect we ever had, Joe Hill.
Oh, that's right. Stephen King's kid.
2-year-old Joe Hill murdering.
Yep, that had to be it.
Well, that was around the 48th anniversary of the movie. Now it's the 49th anniversary of the movie. So we're going to do a watch-along.
Yay. How long is this movie?
2 hours and 4 minutes.
Holy moly.
Okay.
Holy moly. It's 2 hours.
It's a perfect movie.
All right. We'll see about that. I'm going to look for a cut spot.
I think this will be the third 5-star movie we've done a watch-along for. We did Halloween, and we did The Exorcist.
Those are 5 stars?
That's the ones I give 5 stars. They're all-time classics. They're Hall of Fame movies. This will be a Hall of Fame movie soon.
Oh, yeah?
Spoiler alert for...
Oh, I see. Because you do it once a year on the website,
2
right?
movies go in once a year, and since the 50th anniversary is next year, I would say keep a lookout for that in 2025.
All right. Logical. I get you.
It may have already been decided. I don't know.
Who can tell these things?
The Exorcist went on its 50th anniversary. It seems fair. Okay, so if you want to watch along with us, pause it right when the planet and the words come up and it says Universal, an MCA company. They're working for the MCA. Remember that song?
No.
From Leonard Skinner?
No.
I mean, they're not a big Skinner fan.
They have 2 songs that I know of. And
Freebird?
Yep.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, those are the 2.
All right.
I'm glad you said them first because I would have been hard-pressed to come up with one of those.
All right. So we're going to count down from 3. 3, 2, 1, play. Although it never turns out that way. And then you play on play. And then we'll talk about this movie for 2 hours and 4 minutes together. Ready? You want to try the countdown this time?
No.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, turtles.
Kid and play.
Every time I do kid and play, you get mad at the turtles.
I don't remember that. Why would I get mad at you?
This obviously starts off with one of the most famous opening scenes in movie history.
I think I saw somewhere on the internet, which is where I see everything, that the person, the girl, whoever gets killed, she's uncredited.
Well, her name is Susan Baccalini.
So perhaps she is credited.
And I know that because she just passed away.
All right. Maybe that's why I saw something about it on the internet.
Well,
why were they talking about it then? Ooh, we're in the ocean.
Ooh, Jaws. No Steven Spielberg before Jaws. Wasn't that famous yet. This is the movie that really made him famous.
What did he do before this?
Duel.
The hell is Duel?
And a different movie with Goldie Hawn that I don't remember the name of.
Goldie Hawn from Overboard?
Yeah, it wasn't Overboard, though.
I like Overboard.
It was On Board. It was a prequel.
Hey, I was going to ask you, is this a prequel or a sequel to that Bond villain guy?
You've done this before.
Have I?
This is the danger of doing movies in a year apart.
So at least I have consistent thoughts. I'm pretty proud of myself.
You sound like you're making it up in the moment every time, though, so I'm pretty impressed.
Well, because it's a new thought every time.
So we've talked before, this opening scene, I'm not sure. It might have just invented the cold open kill in slasher movies.
I think we talked about that, too,
Yeah.
because I think you're right. It's 100%, but I can't think of anything.
But for something new to talk about, because we mentioned this to each other in real life, not on the microphone.
Ooh, secretly.
Maybe at a children's birthday party. That may have been when it happened.
One of yours or one of mine?
Well, if it's one of mine, they missed a lot of birthdays.
And why was I there?
And why were you? And why didn't you tell me about it? That's Susan Baccalini. So,
oh, that's her. Hey, Susan.
Is she the least famous person in the most famous scene in movie history? Because there are probably a few scenes that are definitely more famous, but they all have people in that are very much more famous than Susan Baccalini.
That is a good question.
That's what I have, because I think, I know that the shower scene in Psycho is more famous, but Janet Leigh is much more famous. And, if you want to take, a scene from Gone with the Wind or Casablanca or Wizard of Oz, way more famous people.
All right.
So you kind of run out of scenes that are more famous. The closest one I could come up with is the He's alive, in Frankenstein, because Colin Clive is not a household name either, but he's much more famous than Susan Pacolini, and I don't know which one. They're probably right around even on which scene is more famous.
Ooh, she took off her top. What was this rated? PG-13 or R?
There was no PG-13 at the time.
So it was an R?
No.
It was a PG?
That is correct.
Was that real boobs I just saw?
I don't know what you saw. I didn't in your eyes.
I wasn't.
You have terrible eyesight.
That is true. And I think I need better contact.
I didn't see you get scared, so I don't think you did.
Yeah, it's true. I remained calm.
Yes. This is one of the greatest scenes ever.
Oh, hey, I got a scene. The famous person. Remember that Disney nature movie where all the lemmings fall off the cliff?
Nope.
Okay, I guess not. I was wrong. Well, I thought those lemmings were pretty famous.
I think you've somehow gotten this wrong twice. The color settings on your TV are really poor.
Are they? Okay, so this is the broken TV.
Well, I could fix the color settings. On
No,
the TV.
I think there's something wrong with it. So everything is blue here. Ooh, now it's dark blue.
That's all right. Most of the movie happens in daylight, which is pretty cool, actually, for a very much a horror movie. I mean, the coloring on this is supposed to be dark. It's just way too dark when he's on the beach.
Oh, she's going to get her feet eaten. Oh, no. I think you're right, though. This is the least famous.
It's such a famous scene, and nobody knows who she is. I mean,
No.
She did this movie. She did a parody of this scene in Steven Spielberg's 1941, where she's out in the water again, and then she gets raised up by a periscope.
Spielberg's 1941. I never heard of this movie.
Yeah, it's his bad movie he made during his era of making great movies.
Oh, okay. When was that? The 80s?
It was 1941.
Oh, yeah,
Time
that's
Traveler.
right. He goes way back.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I want to say 79, 80, somewhere in there.
Okay. Did he ever do a time travel movie?
Fascinating question. Now I have to think about really hard.
All right, you do that. I'm going to watch poor Susan get eaten. Oh,
You would think that he did, but I don't. Not one's coming to the top of my head. Is 12 Years a Slave a time travel? We go 12 years through time.
you do? That's how my time machines work.
That's right. I mean, in AI, I know they end up in the future, but I think that's just waiting around because he's a robot.
I saw that movie one time in the theater. I remember thinking Jude Law was pretty cool, but
More times than I've seen it.
have you? You've never seen it? Good for you.
I told you before. I know what it is. It's a director who's not Stanley Kubrick trying to make a Stanley Kubrick movie, and I can't think of anything I want to see less than that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Hey, now it's What's this guy? Brody, Sheriff Brody.
Yes.
Is that him? That's his wife.
You got it. There's a dog that's been dead for a long time.
Oh no.
Brody's dead too, to be fair.
I just had a conversation with my mother about Frasier and how the father is dead and also the dog.
Yeah, the dog died first.
Yeah, I know. And we remembered, sadly, and I knew this once it was pointed out, the dog's name. Do you know it?
Eddie?
It's not Eddie, it's real name. The actor.
Edward.
It turned out to be Moose.
Oh, that's a much better name than Eddie.
Yeah, it
This is a Mushroom versus Barney situation on Gremlins.
Ooh, that's always a toss-up. What's wrong with this kid? Oh, he's got a bloody hand. Oh, that son.
He's got two phones. The wrong phone rang. I don't know why he has two phones. It's never talked about.
Hey, that's an interesting point. Is it because one of them's a cop phone? Like to call the sheriff, the
It must be.
hotline?
You know what? That makes complete sense because he doesn't really instinctively pick it up because nothing ever happens on Amity Island. Pete, that's a really good piece of business right there. Because there's evil coming to Amity, and they're being forewarned through the portents of broken fences. What a fence. Yeah, but that's a good piece of business there. He wouldn't instinctively pick up that phone because it never rings.
I'm glad you caught it because I probably would have never noticed. I've seen this movie a million times and I've never seen.
That's what I mean. You can find something new in it all the time. The colors look good on this. It must just be. I mean, I know that opening's supposed to be really dark. I just want to lighten it up a bit because then you can see stuff in the water.
Well, we are watching this, Brian, on a TV that I am unsure of where it came from. It's been underneath my basement stairs for some time. I know that I have had 2 or 3 TVs that have attempted to live in this basement and none have survived.
What if this is a haunted TV?
I was just wondering what with the trend of haunted objects that are like just pervasive now, because we had the haunted swimming pool.
Yeah, that's terrible.
There was the haunted dolls, but they've been around forever. There was something else, too, that was a haunted object.
Coffee table.
The coffee table.
I just watched The Coffee Table.
Is it really about a haunted coffee table?
Pete, you will never believe what it's about.
Is it a haunted coffee table?
Pete, you remember, you've never seen Hereditary, but remember how I've told you how those 3 to 4 minutes after the big event in Hereditary are the hardest thing you ever watch on film?
Which is why I'm just not going to watch it, because you've explained it to me, and that is not for Pete.
The coffee table takes that idea and says, what if we do that for an hour?
But it's a coffee table.
You would lose your mind watching this movie, Pete. I can't spoil what happens, but let me tell you that you could never watch the coffee table. You would turn it off 20 minutes in, and you would save yourself an hour and 10 minutes of absolute agony.
But now I kind of want to watch it. You've sold me on this horrible.
Let me promise you, you do not. And I think the movie's actually really great, and I've never seen anybody make a movie like it, but it's impossible to recommend it to any human being.
Oh, because I heard one good review from somebody on the good old Reddit there who said that he was just glowing about that movie.
It's for anybody who really enjoyed those 3 minutes in the Hereditary. They made the plane out of the whole box.
Oh, man. All right. Avoid that one. I take it back. I hope this isn't a haunted TV. That things might end poorly.
Yeah.
But I heard the haunted swimming pool was like a friendly kind of pool. It didn't really do anything.
No, it was fucking horrible.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. It was inefficient and dumb.
Yep.
So, we're 50-50. Let's hope this haunted TV turns out all right.
I wonder how often he actually even has to go into the office, to be honest.
Now, this is an island, right? It's Amity Island.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably not that often. Not too much crime there. Well, summer crime. There's a lot of summer beach
she's telling
crimes.
you about the crime right now. There's 9-year-olds karateing the fences.
Yeah, that's why that fence is all beat to shit.
It's great. Spielberg used to be the man.
But that must have been his kid, right? That kid looks about 9 years old, and it's his fence. It's all beat up. We know who it is.
No, that was not. Maybe that was the fence. Maybe that was why their fence was like that. I don't think they're doing it to the sheriff's house, though, because they showed the fence that they're talking about later.
Yeah, but follow me here. The fence at their house is all missing, too, because his kid is the one kicking him in. The trouble starts at home, and now he's going to cover it up. He's got a 9-year-old kid kicking fences down all over town, and he's happy this shark attacks because it takes the heat off of him. Can you imagine the sheriff's son?
All cops are bastards.
A cab. Wow, this haunted TV is really crisp. It might be the nicest TV I own. Jesus Christ, it is. This is nicer than my TV that I keep in my living room.
Yep.
I'm going to keep it down here. I don't trust it. Hey, who's that guy? Is that the mayor? No, we're about not that old man.
See, there's defensive and karate chopping.
He's going to beat him with a bike tire.
It's a pretty nice little town.
Except for the sharks.
Let's stay out of the water.
What about the land sharks?
That's true.
Can't get away from them. They're crafty.
This movie's why the land shark exists.
No, I think they've been around before this movie.
Oh.
They've been around since at least Victorian times.
I also saw a movie about a frogman.
All right. That sounds like a monster. I like monsters.
Found footage, Pete. You'd hate it. There's always a caveat.
I've seen you've shown me a couple of good found footage movies, but I assume those are like the cream of the crop.
Yeah, I'm not going to bust out terrible ones. I like Frogman, but I like found footage more than you.
Okay, yeah.
It has all the problems with found footage, though.
Yep. I'll avoid that one. Man.
I like this part, too, when he's like, let Polly do the printing. And he's like, why can't I do it? He's like, yeah, let Polly do the printing. He doesn't think he can write. They didn't do much of this movie in this downtown. This downtown's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Especially for a 4th of July movie. And I know they want to be on the beach, but like, kind of cool that maybe some of that indoor stuff should have been shot outside. Here's that shot I was talking to you about a year ago, where they do it all in one take on this ferry.
Oh, okay.
And you got, I think, 5 or 6 people on the ferry. Like 3 of them have speaking lines. And I'm just like, if anybody screws it up, they're going to have to go all the way back to 1 and start over.
Oh, that's right. I remember I watched this.
And it has a very funny ending where they get to the end. And then there's the mayor, Murray Hamilton, when he goes, right on the car there, you can see it was the realty. He's a realty.
I saw that, yep.
He gets to the very end. He turns to the guy. He's like, all right, take us back. And it's like, this guy sucks.
Right. He intentionally sat on the ferry. I get it. This guy is a douche.
And so there's 6 people. I think 4 of them have dialogue. And they all do this. This is all done in one take.
But look at that snazzy suit coat he's got.
No, 7 people. There's I don't know where that guy came from.
Ooh, sunglass flannel guy?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
I think he's the killer. Is that Joe Hill? Time-traveling Joe Hill?
It might be. I don't know what he looks like.
I think he wears flannel.
Look, I almost thought that guy behind those 2 talking was asleep. He just kind of
Oh, the
nods in and out.
What?
Whoops, don't fall down, old man. All right.
This is how politics works in Amity.
That's how politics works everywhere. You get on a ferry.
I think it was a boat propeller. Yes, a boating accident, don't you think, Sheriff? And this is his mistake that he makes in the beginning of the movie.
Who? Who makes a
Brody.
mistake? Brody?
He should close the beach. He shouldn't listen to these politician assholes.
Right. But doesn't the mayor I don't know how law works. Who outranks who?
I believe the sheriff has jurisdiction over crime. I don't think the mayor has jurisdiction over crime. I think you know that. I think you know that the mayor isn't in charge of crime investigations.
Yeah, but the cop can't say you can't go to the beach. It's a murder
The cop
investigation.
can definitely close down the beach.
I don't know about that. This is a mystery. I'm probably not going to
They
get
just
to
cut the take to.
Oh, right there was
They
the
went the
cut.
whole way around.
I like that, having seen poor old Susan get eaten in the first minute of the movie,
Yeah.
every time you see someone going into the water, you're kind of like, oh, maybe they're about to be eaten.
Well, there he is in his red shorts. I wonder who's going to get eaten.
Why? The red shorts? What is that, a symbol or something?
Maybe, because there's a lot of yellow. Red is bad. Yellow is safe.
I think
I guess not, though. They eat him off of his yellow raft.
Jaws is kind of a jerk.
This is, in my opinion, the best scene that Steven Spielberg ever directed.
What? This right here?
Ratcheting up the suspense.
Oh, who's going to get it?
Yes, there's a dog, but the dog doesn't make it either.
He doesn't?
Well, we don't actually know for sure.
I don't remember. Oh, yeah, that's right. The stick is there, the collar.
Now that could, yeah. So we don't really know for sure positive.
Okay.
The way that he cuts this together.
Yep.
With
The lady floating, the kid on the raft, or the inflatable. There's that dog. He's on shore. That's lucky. Not for long. Oh, no. And there he is, just kind of sitting there. Why is he a
look
lifeguard?
at this.
Oh,
Every
his
time
kid's
somebody
there.
passes, it gets closer to him. It's just ratcheting up. And this is his most Hitchcock that he ever was, and he even ends it with a vertigo zoom.
You know, I haven't seen a ton of Hitchcock. Though that could be a shark coming. But it's not.
It's Harry.
And the Hendersons.
That's some bad hat, Harry.
What is that? It's something.
It's from this.
Is it?
Yes.
When?
No, this is my favorite thing here. This guy comes into the conversation. You don't hear a fucking word this guy says because you're so distracted by what's going on in the water, and so is he. And it's just there to,
Holy cow, you're right.
It's
I've
so-
never heard
yeah.
that conversation before. I could read it because
No.
we have the.
you've never heard one word he said.
No.
It's so perfectly done.
He's talking about people parking in front of his house.
It puts you in his shoes so perfectly where you're so annoyed by it and you're like, I don't care about this. It's not important. I'm not even letting it in, but you got to leave me alone. Like, I got to see what's going on. And that woman starts screaming and then he looks in the water and he's just her playing with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
This thing's just ratcheting up and up and up and up more kids are going in the water and you know something terrible is going to happen.
Yep. But were there a lot of kid murders in movies before this?
I don't know.
Yeah. Old man swimmer. This bad hat.
Bad hat. It's some bad hat, Harry. It's also I don't know which production company uses it. There you go. That's some bad hat, Harry.
That's where I remember it from.
Yes, this is what it's from.
Because I think you're right. I think I've paid no attention to the dialogue of all these people who don't matter. Ooh, do you see all the old-timey cans in the background?
Nope. I see kids in the water.
Then you got a kid on the beach. That's scary, too.
Yes, children are just terrifying.
Oh, the land shark. Oh, and children, they are terrifying. Oh, no, the dog is missing.
Yep.
Yeah, he went up to the beach to get an ice cream cone.
See, that's just a stick. That dog could just be somewhere else. It could be a
Right.
misdirect.
He smelled something and he ran away to go sniff it. He'll be back.
He smelled Joe Hill committing murder on the other side of the
He
dunes.
did. He's a crime dog. This is where McGruff got his origins. I didn't know if you knew that bit of trivia about
About Jaws.
Jaws.
Did you get that from IMDb?
I don't trust him.
Uh-oh. Here it comes. Oh, surprising amount of blood spurt.
Oof.
This is a vertigo zoom.
Boom.
Yeah, kids, get out of the water.
Oh, boy. They don't want to get out of the water. They don't know. Here's that lady, right? She's the
Mrs. Kittner, who is our
Mrs.
age.
Kittner. No, she's not.
She is our age in this movie.
Bullshit.
She's very much our age.
I can't believe you. I feel like we went over this before, but I don't believe you.
She lived another 45 years or so.
I don't know what that means.
She lived into her early 90s. And she was
Okay,
40.
good. That works out well for us. Yay.
I don't know if there's a 1-to-1 on that.
Are you sure about that? Look at her. She looks to be 70
She
at
does
least.
look like she's 70.
Easily.
Well, having kids will age you. I don't know how to tell you. That's what happened to other people I know.
Yeah, but not me.
I did figure this out. Mrs. Kittner threw this bounty out there. I've missed. There it is. So the $3,000 bounty is from Mrs. Kittner. They'd say it in here, but it's all jumbled into a bunch of things people are talking, which I really enjoy.
Okay. What was my problem with it before?
You asked who did the bounty, and I was like, I'm not sure, because I know that they agree to pay Quint later.
Right.
But this original $3,000 idea is from Mrs. Kittner.
Right, because the mayor doesn't want to shut down anything anyway.
No, the mayor sucks. And by the way, still the mayor in Jaws 2. Throw that out there. After all this went this way, he's still the mayor in Jaws 2.
He fixed the shark problem, right? Is Brody still the sheriff?
Yes.
Then, yeah, business as usual, I guess.
I guess so.
There's no...
I just feel like anyone could have won re-election. Or could have won that election.
Maybe no one ran. That's how they like. I assume that if you live by the ocean, losing some people to sharks every now and again is just something that, it's the price of doing business.
I don't believe that that's true.
It's like we live here. Sometimes polar bears eat us.
No, that's never happened.
I fell into the cage at the zoo once, and the polar bear almost ate me.
That I believe.
I don't think it would.
Except the you getting away part. That doesn't add up.
Do you remember when MTV still had like music videos? No, this wasn't a music video, but they had that sorority life and fraternity life reality show for
So
a
the
hot
opposite
minute.
of music video.
Yeah, the opposite of that when they had already made
Sure.
the turn. And it was done in one of the seasons here in Buffalo, and they filmed the people in the fraternity, the guys, jumping over the gate like at 1 a.m. at the Buffalo Zoo. So when it aired, they all got arrested for trespassing.
Nice.
It was pretty cool. Is this all talking about the shark?
Yeah, they're a little concerned about it. So he said we're going to close it, and the mayor's like, just for 24 hours. And then you get one of my favorite lines yelled out from the crowd here.
24 hours?
24 hours is like 3 weeks.
Is that what they say for real?
Yeah.
That's great. Because she's not wrong.
Yeah, how'd you know that was a woman? 24 hours is like 3 weeks.
You know why? I think because you said it in a really high-pitched voice.
Thank you.
You're
I'm a
welcome.
good actor.
There's a guy that's got a Bill Smith something on his shirt. Oh, here's Quint.
Yep.
Quinting it up.
As pointed out, when you walk into this room, that shark is not on that board. So he clearly draws the shark while he's there. Which goes back to my question, is he the one who defaces the billboard? We've already seen that he has a desire to draw sharks.
Yeah, but look at that.
It's true. When they walk in the room, there's no shark on that board.
Oh, that's great.
That is a character choice. Look, the shark's eating a person.
And yeah, no one noticed either.
I don't think that anyone pays attention to Quint.
He's the crazy old fisherman.
Yes, and we've discussed this in the last time we discussed this in depth. But if you just follow this movie from Quint's perspective, it is the insane revenge scheme of a man who has lost the plot. But we don't spend that much time with him, so we can't actually know that.
Oh, from his perspective.
Yes, and when they're out on the boat, there's a moment where they realize it.
That they're trapped on the boat
Yes.
with somebody who is
Yes.
a couple of marbles short of a toolbox.
When they're in danger like this and when they're all scared, the things he's saying sound right and he'd be qualified and he'd understand. They don't understand this man. They're getting into business with a man they do not understand.
You know who he's kind of like? Moby Dick.
You mean Ahab?
No, I mean Moby Dick.
I don't.
He looks like a big white whale. He's got a big boat.
He's so good in this movie. I think that there's a lot of very good versions of this kind of movie. Even Spielberg made another one in Jaws. I mean, in Jurassic Park. Yeah, he made another one in Jaws. He made another one in Jurassic Park.
Did he ever do any of the other Jaws movies?
No.
Okay.
So, but Quint here is so good that I think he elevates this one above every other one of these kinds of movies just on his own.
I really like Jurassic Park, though.
It just doesn't have a Quint-like character. And it makes the fundamental mistake of letting, what's his name, the old guy that builds the park live.
Why is that a fundamental mistake?
Because what's the lesson I'm supposed to take from this movie?
There was none. That's why the franchise keeps going. Every time a new one comes out, they built a bigger park. They've never learned.
That's a great moment, too. Because he just gets scared by his wife like a real natural response. So, John Hammond should die in that movie. He dies in the book.
Yep.
He should die in the movie. It doesn't make any sense. Why you make him so likable if you're not going to use it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was a fun movie.
It was a fun movie.
I think it was aimed more at kids. It really seemed to be. Because does anyone other than Nedry and the lawyer Gennaro die?
Yeah,
oh,
Samuel
yeah,
L.
a bunch
Jackson
of
dies.
people. Oh, yeah. Never mind. They all die. A great many people die.
More people die in that than this, and they get eaten right in front of you.
Yeah, all right. I got no back. I don't know what or why, but I still think I might like Jurassic Park more.
Oh, that's absurd to me.
The dinosaurs are awesome. And
Sure.
dinosaurs are cool, and that is some of the best special effects I've seen. You know why? Because it's practical.
It's not all practical.
Well, I know, but it's that mix. It's that melding. You know why that dinosaur looks so great?
Because they got a real dinosaur.
You're right. They got a giant fucking dinosaur.
They did what Godzilla -1 did. They just got a real Godzilla.
Right, and it looks real. You can't make that better with CGI.
This is also a great moment when he's losing his mind and his wife's like, it's not in the water, he's in the boat. And then she looks in the book and sees a shark biting through a boat. And she turns and goes, "Did you hear your father? Get out of the water." It's so good. It's such a realistic thing.
And Brody was not the sheriff here forever. He's like new.
Yes.
He's a new guy.
Yeah. See, this is where she sees the picture and then she's like, wait, I changed my mind.
I remember a lot of books that had that kind of picture in it that I read when I was a kid. I don't know
Feels
why.
like very Robinson Crusoe, like animated. Those books that are pictures, not picture books, but each chapter would have like a picture drawing on it.
Yep. I like the ones where every so often there's just like a picture of that's kind of something that was happening in the book.
That's exactly what I just said.
No, you were talking about just at the beginning.
Sure.
Okay. What about the ones that it's mostly pictures, but like half words?
They don't exist.
Yeah, they do. I can't remember what they're called. My kids have read them. Ooh, fish feet. What is that? Fish guts?
I'm pretty positive that this scene only exists because they realized they were going too long without the shark.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
If you cut it out, you don't get the shark again, the actual shark, until, oh God, I don't even know when, but in the cove, because
Yeah, it's the cove. You got to go through the whole 4th of July.
yeah, they're going to catch the wrong shark. They're going to, he's going to go underwater and get the tooth, but you're not going to see the actual shark for a long time if you don't have this.
Holy cow. Hopper comes in before we see the shark again?
Who?
Who? The guy. Oh, where do you find the tooth? I thought it
what was
was
that name again?
I thought it was Hopper. It's
It's
Hooper.
not. There
It's
you go.
Hooper. I'm thinking because what was Stranger Things?
Yes.
It's Hopper, and I kept calling him Hooper when I watched that season.
But it's pretty easy to remember these names. They're
I
pretty
don't.
classic names. Brody, Quentin, Hooper,
I only remember Quint every
Bruce.
time.
Bruce the shark.
Good old bro. I saw a picture on the internet, not a picture, a thing, how we're watching all these shark bite guys, where something took a bite out of his arm, and I guess the bone was missing, but the arteries and the tendons were still there. So there was no upper arm bone, but the lower one was there, and the hand could still move most of the fingers, and you could twist the arm in like circles. It was gross. Super gross. That's what's going to happen to these two fools on the dock who are trying to catch a shark.
They make it though,
That's right.
because 1970s were different. They would never make it out of this movie now.
You don't think so?
Zero chance. They get eaten. One of them at least would get eaten. One would get eaten so the other one could tell everybody about it.
I wonder why that is, because it's still terrifying now here in the 1970s, but in nowadays, how is that going to work?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I lost my train of thought while I was writing it.
And it just, nobody nowadays can be subtle about anything.
It all has to be just in your face all the time, always.
Yeah.
All right.
That was a Academy Award winning Best Picture starring Michelle Yeoh.
I like that movie.
In your face all the time, always.
All at once, too. Oh, come on, Charlie, you can make it up.
This
I
is
believe
another
you.
example of they don't have the shark, so it's just, you know where it is because it's tied to this thing. the trick that probably makes the movie 10 times better than it should be.
Because it does just, you do just get enough of it. You don't overexpose it, which people do with CGI, by the way.
You want to see the shark so bad, you don't see it until the third act.
I like that they have pipes.
I like that this guy's smiling. It's like, that cannot be an actor.
Was he on the ferry too?
Probably
he might have been.
He just has to be a local.
They used a lot of the locals in this?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's Mrs. Kittner with her bounties. Look at all these fishermen.
I think the ones that don't get things to say are probably all just local fishermen using their own boats.
Oh, okay.
Seems easy enough. You want to be in a movie? You want to take your boat out? Like, yeah, everybody would do that.
Not me. Because I don't want to be in a movie and I don't have a boat.
Here's good old Hooper, who just made some news by going to a Jaws screening.
I heard something. What has Richard Dreyfuss done? The star?
He's gotten very, very old.
Yeah. But he did something. He got really weird, and I read that it was a reaction to medication.
Sure it was.
Okay.
Was the last time that too?
Oh, I haven't been following. You might not know this, but I really haven't been following up on Richard Dreyfuss as much as most people do.
I don't think most people have. It's just something that pops into my feed every so often, and I got to read another story about Richard Dreyfuss being a crotchety old piece of shit.
Oh.
It's too bad because he's so young and vibrant here.
And he's so likable.
Yeah.
Actually, it's kind of annoying, but I like it.
He is. This is the problem. Not the problem with the movie. This is the thing you run into where eventually you're going to come onto Quint's side, even though he's insane. So it's going to make everybody who annoys Quint annoy you a little bit.
Yeah, maybe so. But he is kind of obnoxious.
He is, but he's also completely correct until they get on the boat. When they get on the boat, Quint's correct. Before that, everything that happens from here until they get on the boat with Quint, he's the only expert that they have.
Oh, that's true.
And he's right. So he can be annoying because you believe him and he's correct. Then they get on the boat and it's like, shut up, little man. Quint
Every
knows what's
choice
going
is
on.
the wrong one. Yeah, okay, that makes. I think, and I'm fairly certain in the book, Hooper was banging Brody's wife.
That's correct.
Okay, so he's just kind of a dick all over the place.
Literally.
Who else? Is it Cheryl? Is she the one who's the secretary at the police station?
I don't remember.
Me neither. Oh, poor her.
She is the second least famous person in a famous scene.
I'm still thinking. I'm going to come up with something.
I don't know that you will.
Oh, I will.
Because your attempt was something I'd never heard of as the most famous scene with people I didn't know.
I thought everyone had seen that Disney movie where the lemmings are pushed. They're showing how lemmings commit suicide, and that's where that game came from in the 90s.
I'm just going to throw out there, you can't even name the movie. That's how non-famous it is.
Into the North.
I think you made that up.
I bet you I'm right. Maybe I made it up, but I think I'm right. Also, the reason I bring it up is because it's all fake.
Look at how disorganized this nonsense is.
Disorganized. They're having a boat rally.
Yeah, I'm sure the shark's going to come out if you trim the water next to 17 other boats.
But look, they brought live bait.
They brought their dogs, too. That's the live bait.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, this guy's got cherry bombs.
Guys are so dumb. I feel bad for that dog in the front. He doesn't seem like he's enjoying it.
That's a nice bloody boat to attract the shark that we know can eat boats.
You know. Yeah, do you think they need a bigger boat later? Those tiny boats are...
I wish I knew something more about actual sharks. So, how often do they eat? Do they tell me this and I've never really paid attention or retained the knowledge in this movie?
Well, he tells you they're a night feeder, which is funny because he always eats during the day.
That is true. I never saw that before.
But that's when it's night feeding on fish. During the day is when it's reacting to the people in the water. I don't think that's actually a mistake. I think that the reason they think they can find him is this is when he will feed on what's in the ocean. In the daytime, we keep attracting him with our motions.
I see. Look at you knowing all this stuff. Those are good ideas.
I think that's what it means.
Just remember, I knew what that second phone was for.
I know, it was pretty great.
So, as far as I know, I'm still ahead.
I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen this movie. Dozens. But I've never thought about why there was a second phone, just except that I thought it was funny there was a second phone, and he picks up the wrong one, and it's not a gag. It's to tell you, yeah, the sheriff phone never rings.
I've seen that scene also many, many times, and I've never once thought, why does he have two phones in his kitchen?
Yeah.
Never once. I just accepted it. Like,
That's how good this movie is. It doesn't, we always say you want things to be subtle. and not beat over the head with it. This one was so subtle. It took 49 years for me to figure it out. I'm not even 49 years old.
I need to be beaten. Apparently, I need to stop complaining about movies being too on point.
I guess so. But it is kind of incredible that you can discover something new in a movie like this. It's been poured over. I'm sure other people have discovered it. But I never have, and I've never actually heard anybody bring it up. And I've seen enough things on Jaws.
I once sat with Ken Barnes, our foreign correspondent, listening to a Tom Waits song one morning, and we're like, oh, I think he's singing about a flag. Oh, my God, we're like geniuses. Kitty showed up, and we're like, hey, Kitty, we think this song's about a flag. And she's like, well, no shit. And we were so proud of ourselves, Brian. We were so proud.
I'm sure that many people have figured it out.
Oh, I'm 100%. No, this is all new to me.
That's right.
It's exciting. Most things are new to me. What are my memory problems?
Now, Pete, we're about to get slapped into Act 2, if you recall our previous conversations about Jaws.
And I don't. Act 2 is when, I see. Yeah. I see what you did there. Act 2 starts when he gets slapped by the 75-year-old Mrs. Kittner.
And that, what I said earlier on the ferry, where this was his mistake, was that he shouldn't have listened to these politicians. He doesn't put up any fight. He's just like, all right, I guess I'll go with it. That's why he gets slapped. And he knows it's right. And every time I see somebody watch this movie or talk about this movie, they seem to not agree with it. They're like, no, it's the mayor's fault. And it's like, it's not just the mayor's fault. He was corrupted by the mayor in that moment. It's his fault too. And he knows it and he accepts it. But a lot of people who watch it don't put any of it on him.
See, I don't. Okay, that's weird.
That's what I think. I think they miss part of the arc of the character if they don't put it on him.
I don't. You see, again, I question the legality. I'm not sure who's on top. But Brody knows that he did wrong, regardless of what the law was. He knew what was right. That's what I feel took place there. His own internal law is what is driving him, and he broke it.
Yeah. Well, he gets everything closed when he really wants to.
He gets everything closed? What?
When he's like, we're done with this and shuts it down, he shuts it down. When he starts being the actual sheriff of the town, not the guy that is like on vacation here.
But that's after he gets slapped.
It's actually after the 4th of July. Because he lets it happen again.
Yeah, and isn't it his kid?
Yes.
So, all right, see? He spent this whole movie covering up his one kid who's kicking fences down around town, and he only springs into action when that problem hits home. I don't like this Brody guy.
Do you like that mayor outfit?
Oh, look at that thing. I don't like the suits, though. I don't like suits, but I like his color choices. That's a good scheme.
It's a good summer suit.
There is no good suit.
What about an Egger suit?
He likes sugar water, I hear.
Sugar. I love this. This guy, Murray Hamilton here, who plays the mayor, is so good in this movie. Like, I don't know if he was ever like a small town politician, but even the way he just is in the back listening to every word of this going, he's right and I have to stop him.
He looks like a small town politician, too.
He does. And his reasoning here is perfectly sound. I give him credit for coming up with the perfect thing to say. Where he's like, I'm not going to let you cut this thing open and watch that little Kittner boy spill out onto the docks. It's a perfectly sound argument.
Oh, yeah. That's why they got to do it late at night, right?
But nobody wants to do it. Like Brody at this moment before he gets slapped is just like, no, I'm on this guy's side. He even moved to his side, literally.
Look at that.
Yeah, he's giving him looks like, yeah, I think this guy's right.
This Hooper guy. Look at this Hooper guy. He's nuts.
Yeah, it's important that Brody is wrong in this first act. It's very important.
Look at her husband. He's 1,000.
I think that's her father.
No.
Yes, I think the message...
No, they're the same age.
They're not. I think the message you're supposed to take from this is that she had no one.
That's not the message I'm taking away right now.
I think that is. And I love that moment because Brody, they don't show his reaction. They show someone's reaction to it because Brody's the only one who knows he deserves it.
All I can look at is that construction helmet guy through Brody's glasses.
I mean, it's such a perfect character choice for his arc for this to happen, where he just literally moves to the mayor's side and gives a look at Hooper like, yeah, whatever, man. And then he gets snapped out of it as viciously as he possibly can into reality.
That's true. But
I think that Spielberg might know what he was doing back in 1974, 75.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Because I'm sitting here waiting for the shark again when I'm watching.
True.
But they give you a lot of backstory to work with, which is something I enjoy. I don't like to pay attention to it, but I like that it's there. Because I'm like, ooh, that's some deep stuff going on.
Yeah, this is what I think that as much as I love Jaws 2, or Jurassic Park. As much as I love Jurassic
Gotta
Park.
watch this Jaws 2 you keep talking about.
As much as I love Jurassic Park, I don't think it has any of this.
Didn't you see that Dr. Alan Grant does not like children?
Yes.
And then what happens by the end?
He becomes a surrogate father.
There you go. That is an arc, buddy.
But it also has, in its defense, it also has Jeff Goldblum with his shirt open.
It's true. People like that.
People do like that.
He was hot off the fly, right?
No, that would have been
Earth Girls Are Easy.
7 years after The Fly.
What was he coming hot off of then? Because I feel like he was a big name.
I don't know. It was a year before Independence Day, too. So I don't know. Or 3 years before Independence Day. So I don't know why he was big in that moment. Are you sure that didn't make him big?
I swear to God, maybe I just saw The Fly a lot, and I thought he was big because of The Fly, which would make sense. And then he was in Earth Girls Are Easy. Those are the 2 movies I remember watching.
That's not a very famous movie. You keep saying it like it's...
It was famous in my house.
I like this scene, too, where he sees his son just copying everything he's doing.
Oh, yeah. That's weird.
Your son doesn't take after you at all?
No.
Smart boy.
It turns out he is. Both the kids are winning awards at school. I don't know about that. What am I supposed to take from this?
Well, he's going to ask for forgiveness.
What?
When he just got slapped in the face, and when he tells the son to kiss him on the cheek, and he says, "Why?" He's like, "Because I need it. It's healing his wound and letting him move on to. He's making his choice now. He's like, I'm going to go cut open that shark."
Or is he realizing that his kid's impressionable, so everything he does, his kid's going to do, and the fact that he is shirking his responsibility?
No, I think that he really is absolving himself of the mistake and moving on so that he can get down to business.
I think he demands the kiss because this is his payment for covering up for that kid's fence-kicking ways.
That's the other kid, right?
I don't know. I don't know which one's 9.
The one that came in with the bloody hand, probably from karate chopping fences. I feel like you would have put that together by now.
Nope. Yeah, but that's right. I did put it together. I was just waiting for you to catch up.
I can't believe that the bloody hand was not part of your evidence when you made that claim.
I was waiting for you because if you want somebody to believe what you believe, they got to find the truth themselves.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I don't know why he wanted that kiss. You know why? I think it is because he doesn't want his kid to turn out like that shitty first one.
That's probably true, actually.
Because doesn't he tell that kid not to go out in a boat, and he goes out in a boat anyway?
No, they let him go in the cove.
Oh, but then the shark goes in the cove.
Yeah.
'Cause it's a cove shark.
It goes wherever the action is. That's literally what it's doing.
That's what cove sharks do. Why is Hooper at their house for dinner?
Hooper, after he gets slapped, after Brody gets
He
slapped.
wakes up and says, "Hey, man."
No, Hooper looks at him, and he knows, I can get him on my side. He sees his reaction to it when he says, no, she's not wrong. And he's like, okay, this guy's going to be on my side now. I don't have to listen to this mayor.
He's a smart guy, that Hooper.
He is. He's also a rich guy, which is like a underrated little moment of the movie where he bought all this shit for himself because he's a spoiled little rich kid, which explains why he's annoying.
Yeah, and you're 100% right. I forgot, but yep, I've seen this movie so many times, I forgot.
I forget it every time, and then he says it, and I'm like, that's right. He's like,
but
pampered rich boy.
I just have a sense of all the characters that I've built. I just know them because I've seen this movie so many times that I've forgotten the actual reasons because I must just glaze over every once in a while when there's not a shark eating somebody.
See, now they're in their own little movie here. If they ever happen into Quint's workshop, they'd see him like covering himself in whale blubber and masturbating and crying, and they'd be like, "Oh, this guy's insane." But they never check in on him.
Nope.
Quint's in that one scene, and you don't see him again until he becomes the main character of the movie. Honestly,
He was in the boat when they were.
yes. He's laughing at them. Yeah.
He's just staring. I thought he was just staring at him.
Yeah, he has nothing to do until they come get him, and then he becomes the main character, as far as I'm concerned, until he's eaten.
Was he ever out there trying to catch that shark for
No.
$3,000?
No.
No, he said it wasn't enough. That's right. He's like, you want a shark like that caught? It's going to cost like at least 2 times that.
I value my head more than $3,000. That's what he says.
I don't know. What do you think a head's worth?
I don't know.
Me neither. I don't know. It's not a lot of stuff in it. I heard that like the minerals in our body are only worth like a couple bucks.
I heard it weighs 8 pounds, which is bullshit.
I heard the soul weighs like
7 grams. You've done that before.
I thought it was 7 pounds, so I probably did that before.
1 pound less than a head. A head definitely weighs more than 8 pounds. That's ridiculous.
I have
a
no
skull.
I don't know. I haven't ever taken a head that wasn't attached to something else before.
Well, maybe you should watch The Coffee Table. Throw that out there and leave it on the table here.
I had to fast forward through the extended cut of whatever the sequel to Shining was.
Oh, the Dr. Sleep?
Yeah, Dr. Sleep. In the extended one, they tortured that kid for way too long to get his magic juice, and I could not watch it. I'm like, nope. And I just started fast forwarding. It seemed to go on for 15 minutes.
Well, they have to let everybody finish.
They did, and it was awful.
That's a good movie.
I never saw the theatrical cut.
I never saw the theatrical cut either.
You told me to just watch the director one. That's what I did.
Because that's what I watched, and I looked back at all the reviews, and all the reviews of the theatrical cut said it has a pacing problem. And I was like, well, there's no pacing problem in this director's cut, so I'm guessing that's what was fixed. I thought it was perfectly paced.
Except for the fact that it's 16 hours long.
It's not that long, but sure.
It's pretty long.
It's good, but you can watch. It breaks it up into chapters for you. So
Did
you
it?
Can, yeah. Like literally chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So you can stop whenever you want, and then
I think that Quentin Tarantino movie did that, and I never went back to it. The eight men in a cabin.
yeah, I don't like that one. That's like the one movie he made that I genuinely don't like. And it has such a good cast too. It's like Kurt Russell and Walton Goggins and
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of people I like in that movie. So
Jennifer Jason Leigh and Tim Roth. It's like Samuel L. Jackson. You can't ask for a better cast. I just bored out of my mind by Bruce Dern. I'm just bored out of my mind by what they're doing.
That's disappointing.
It really
is
is
a good cast.
It's like the best cast ever.
And I heard that Argyle was no good either, and I like that cast.
I heard that too. I would watch that one again though. I haven't seen it. I would watch that one before I watched Hateful Eight again.
Ooh.
I don't know. This is the question I have though. Like the guy that's Superman before, the guy that was the Superman
Dean Cain.
until
Reeves.
recently.
George Reeves. Superman. Who was Superman? Henry Cavill.
Yeah. Has he ever been good in anything? I mean, he's good in it. Has he ever been in a good movie?
Was he in The Witcher?
That's not a movie. That's a TV show that I never saw.
You know what I liked him in?
No, I'm not saying he's not good in it. I'm saying has he ever been in a good movie?
Oh. I like that guy Richie.
Because I don't actually have a problem with his Superman. He is boring and dull like Superman is in the comics. But I don't have a problem with him. It's just the movies were bad.
I feel like I've seen him in something where he was not playing his normal bad, like stoic Superman-y guy.
No, and I've seen him be good in things. That's again not what I've asked.
Oh, okay.
Is he ever in a movie where like that was a good movie with Henry Cavill in it? I think he just takes terrible movies.
I kind of like the one he was in.
I know the answer that there is one good one, but he's such a small part of it that it's not fair.
What?
The Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh yeah, he was.
He's
in
the
that.
son. Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that. Man, I haven't seen that movie in a while.
We have to do a watch along for that one because you don't watch it. I love it. Every 5 minutes, something incredible happens.
I don't love the movie the way you guys love this movie. Everyone but me.
Who's us guys?
You and Tex, mostly.
Yeah.
I wonder.
It's like I want to break down the screenplay on that one because there's a masterclass of like, in the early days of slashers, there was like a rule like every 5 minutes you got to either have tits or a kill. You got to keep it going. This is like the drama version of that, where something really cool happens every 5 minutes, and you're like, "Oh, there's a memorable moment. Oh, there's a memorable moment," and it just drives the whole movie forward.
Everyone but me. That's what I'm going to go with.
Boy, I wish we could go back to the '80s when there was things like that, where like every 5 minutes there better be a tit or a kill on the screen.
We've talked about it before, but it really is weird that it was just so commonplace and expected, and 100%.
That's what the audience wanted.
Yeah, but it's still so weird. I don't think the audience would say no now, but I feel like no. It would be wrong somehow. I don't know. It seemed gratuitous.
Yeah, it was. That was the point. Gratuity was the point.
I think I'm getting old.
Gratuity is a compliment.
I think so. It's also a tip.
Yes.
Like don't eat yellow snow.
I saw the slasher movie from the slasher's point of view recently.
I don't know what that one is.
In a Violent Nature. We covered it on a recent podcast when we talked about the upcoming summer movies.
Oh, that's right. The one where he's running through the woods the whole time.
Oh, he doesn't run, Pete.
Oh, he walks slowly? He
Yes.
jauntily strolls through the woods?
Yeah. It is really good and had some of the best kills ever.
Really?
Yeah, a specific kill people talk about going in. It is as good as they say. It is. If Jason had done it in the 80s, it'd be like the most, at least the second or third most memorable, maybe the most.
No kidding. That good.
Very cool. And the movie has just a fundamental flaw that if you tried to, say, write a movie from the sole perspective of the final girl, as one might have done at some point, has a similar flaw because it doesn't work without the other half. So at some point, each of those ideas becomes necessary to kind of put it back into what it is. So this movie gets to a point and it starts following a character that I haven't spent any time with, and I just couldn't care less about her.
Well, who's going to win in the end? We're following it from the slasher, right? So
Yeah.
is he our guy? Is he the good guy?
There's no. He's not. He's nothing. He's an undead entity coming and murdering everybody he comes across. Just gets distracted by noise, walks over and kills it. You're getting in the background. You're hearing pieces of a slasher movie that's happening, just the parts you'd be privy to.
Oh, okay.
Cool concept, really great kills.
Yeah.
Worked for what it was. Got an hour into it, and they went, now what do we do? Because we still have to put an ending on this movie, and we can't follow this character into nothing.
I think they should have.
That's the fundamental problem with the idea.
And you know how I solve that problem.
But I still recommend it. You don't. You just say, this movie's over and knock
Right.
over the camera. I know.
that's the be all end all problem fixer. It's like the duct tape of your endings for a movie or a commercial or a TV show.
But if, say, someone had once written a screenplay that was the opposite of this one, with the same kind of idea to see if the slasher tropes worked if you stripped things away from them, maybe the opposite where they were like, what if we put no kills on screen? I don't wonder if the penny's dropped for you yet that I wrote the screenplay or not.
Which one?
Yeah, the one I actually wrote, where it was taking the perspective completely from the final girl.
Yeah.
And you didn't. I wanted to make it see if it would work if you didn't know that she was in a horror movie.
Oh.
I wanted to see if the tropes worked. This is doing the same kind of idea. It wants to see if the ideas work if you take away any kind of connection to character.
Yeah, but that screenplay was all her. Yup. But it was more of the mental side of things. That's what I was remembering.
I went psychological with it and of character study, and they went with what if we have the coolest kills ever and just follow with the lack of reason. And both ideas run into the same problem in the end. There's no emotional connection to that movie, to any of the other characters. So if a girl has to become the final girl, who cares?
Right.
And in the script I wrote, the problem is when you have to get back to explaining what happened and then showing the slasher part, there's no backstory or no understanding of who the slasher is. There's no reason to fear something if you don't know what it is. Both movies ran into the same kind of problem because you can't have one without the other.
I see, yeah.
But I applaud the experiment because it worked really well for most of the run. Just the last 20 minutes or so, you're like, this isn't going to work now.
Well, that is what I think happened with The Emperor's New Groove.
Yes.
And I love that movie. And I think it's okay to just go, well, we ran out of ideas. Here's some fun stuff. Just go with that, and that'll solve all your problems. We're not trying to make Citizen Kane over here.
Yeah. I think only one person ever tried to make Citizen Kane, to be fair.
Steven Spielberg.
Does he time travel back to 1939?
No, I think he tried. All of these movies are him trying to make
41.
Citizen Kane.
I think it was 41.
41 what? 1941?
Yeah. I think Wizard of Oz was 39, right?
I like that you looked at me like I would know that answer.
I didn't actually look at you.
In my head, you looked at me. In my head, everyone looks at me all the time.
I have no peripheral vision. I just know you're there because you cough every 2 seconds.
That is my job. And I do it well. I have allergies now.
See, like, I think this scene, I know why it's not. I think this scene could have been better if they just played it in the downtown, which is very cool. This is just a field. But they have to do it because they want to show you the billboard.
Now, these are the dunes. These are the dunes where Joe Hill was murdering people. 2-year-old.
2-year-old Joe Hill.
2-year-old Joe Hill.
What do you think about this suit? With his anchors.
That's the one he had and the same tie that he had on the ferry. Same exact outfit. He must go through his suits in a cycle.
The reason they're out here is so they can show us the billboard, but I don't know, it's been pretty cool if it was like, if they'd set this in the downtown square and there was less people there, so you could at least understand what the mayor's talking about. But they want to show us, I think, that Quint was up there doing stuff again. There's no way that's not Quint. There's no way.
It has to be. 100%. We have the evidence.
Hooper thinks it's hilarious.
Well, Hooper's a jerk.
He's from Pod 6.
Pod 6 was jerks. I think that's on Max now.
I don't know.
I think it is. Check it out. I forgot what it was called. C-Lab 2021. Good stuff.
Oh, we're in the future now.
Oh my God, we are in the future now. Oh boy. Oh, Hooper. He's like a what are those little things that pop out of holes in the ground?
Penises?
Yeah, kind of like that. And you whack. No, prairie dog. He's like a little prairie dog poking his head out, going.
It seemed like you were going with whack-a-mole and ended up on prairie dog.
He's a little prairie dog. I'll tell
Those
you
are my
what.
favorite things at the zoo.
They're not there anymore. That big. I was going to bring this up to you at the Buffalo Zoo, which is the third oldest zoo in the country. Yeah. So everything is horribly outdated as far as enclosure size. In fact,
last time I was there, I looked around. This was a while back now, obviously. But to me, it just seemed like there was giraffes in a fence.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And we had to get rid of the elephants because we can't keep elephants, and it's cruel. But anyway, there was a big circle, and in that circle was just a prairie dog pit, and you had their little holes that they pop out of. And
that was my favorite part.
Oh, I loved it too. I could watch that for hours. You know what it is now? A dinosaur dig pit for kids. It's just a bunch of sand. Like the sand that the prairie dogs lived in is still there, but it's kids now. It's a kids dig area. I don't know what they did with all the prairie dogs.
They ate them.
Well, they were right next to the lion and tiger enclosure.
Yeah. So the monkey house?
That was also right next to the lion and tiger enclosure.
That doesn't answer my question, but it hints at a very bad answer.
I'm trying to think. The zoo's so small, they really do just put kind of everything on top of everything else and cross their fingers that nothing gets eaten.
Yep. There hasn't been a renovation of that zoo as long as I've been alive.
Nope. We keep getting rid of animals, though. I'm all right with that. We have a bunch of baby rhinos.
I think we've talked this before. Have you ever been to the San Diego Zoo?
I have.
That was the most impressive zoo I've ever seen.
Have you been to the Toronto Zoo?
I think I have, yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty big one, too. I went on my honeymoon there.
Mm.
And we decided we didn't need to get the little trolley that takes you all around the zoo, and we could walk it. Boy, was that a mistake. I mean, like the trolley would go by, and I'd see all these people on it, all comfortable.
There was this bigger boat.
Where? Ooh.
There was a giant, luxury cruise liner.
I don't know if I remember Killer Shark or I've just seen this movie too many times. The video game that the kid was playing.
I don't know why you'd remember something that was a video game at least 4 years before you were born.
Because they were still in arcades.
I don't think that was still in arcades.
I'm pretty sure it was.
I would think that a Jaws branded one would have been.
I don't think that was Jaws branded. There was maybe a Jaws branded.
I would think that a Jaws branded one would be out when you were alive.
It probably had very similar graphics then. Oh, look at them chumming away. You think any of them are chums or are they all just workmates?
I don't know, but there's a lot of people on this beach. Now, this goes back to my biggest question of the movie.
Who is this guy?
Oh, it's Clark Kent.
Son of a bitch.
Mild-mannered reporter.
It's Henry Cavill himself.
Yeah, he was in a good movie. Jaws,
that answers your question.
This is my problem with this movie. I understand he wants to keep the beaches open so that people come to town so that they spend money. But it is now the 4th of July, the day that he was hoping to have people in town. The beach is full. Why does he give a fuck if they go in the water?
That's a good point. Well, you know what? He's thinking of the future. They're not going to come back next year.
That's a problem for future Murray.
Most people aren't as enlightened as that. They don't leave their problems for future selves to deal with.
It's got why aren't you in the water? Who cares? Do you know the one place in Amity where you can't spend money? In the water.
I wonder if you could.
But what if you could?
You know what the currency is in the ocean.
Clams.
Ooh, that's a good one. No,
I have a better one than you.
It was sand dollars.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah. I like clams. I think that's the nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah. They trade in sand dollars, clams. I got some clams. I got 20 clams over here. I want to buy a bicycle.
Yeah, there's some kids getting on that yellow raft. That's never gone wrong. But look at that poor mother, terrified. Or grandmother, let's be honest.
I can't tell anybody's age.
Is this the beach from Old?
I never saw that movie.
Me neither, but I think you get old on it. That's the one thing I'm pretty sure of. So
No.
is that just what happens on this beach? Is that Mrs. Kittner went out there for a day and she turned 70?
And that was her son that she came to the funeral with.
That's right. He was alive.
He was alive the whole
They
time.
just didn't see him on the beach.
And they left him there overnight, and that's what happened. I don't know why she slapped him.
Because he didn't tell her about the beach.
Oh, that's right. That must be it. Ooh, the hot dog stand in the background. What do they got going on? Ice cream? Yeah.
I don't know. Our beaches don't have that.
No, they don't. There's a beach up in Beaver Island, which is on Grand Island, which is really just kind of all right. And they have a concession stand that is open at whatever hours it feels like someone wants to show up and throw a hamburger at you.
It seems fine to me.
It makes me sad. I'm a guy who likes to spend money on concessions.
I do too. And they're always terrible,
Yes,
but I
they
love
always
it.
are.
It's overpriced and terrible, but I love it.
If you're selling something on a beachfront or from a cart or something, I'm like, I want it, and
Me
I'm going
too.
to put it in me, and I'm going to get sick, but I'm going to eat it. I
Me too.
love it.
Me too. When I go to Sabres games more, I would walk out of there and they'd have the hot dog vendors, and I'm not even hungry, and I'm like, I gotta have that hot dog. Because like, what if it's one of the good ones? Because occasionally you do get a really good vendor, you'll never find them again.
No, you know what the cream of the crop as far as the hot dogs from a street vendor are?
New York City.
Well, yeah, but when they had them in the water, the boiling
yeah,
water,
yeah.
they don't do that. Everyone's got a grill now.
I
It's
know.
very disappointing. That started like 15 years ago, and I hate it. I want my boiled hot dog.
No, I'll buy
delicious.
anything if you put it on the cart.
Yeah, try to sell that to me in a restaurant, I'm going to spit in your face.
Yeah, no, I want restaurant quality food or I want cart food.
Right. There's no in between. That's just making something myself.
Maybe the shark's just a pervert.
Yeah, I've had that thought. It's either him or Steven Spielberg. One of them's a pervert.
Well, it seems from this movie that Quentin Tarantino's foot fetish has been one-upped by Steven Spielberg's crotch fetish.
Either that or Jaws' crotch fetish. Someone's got a fetish. That's all we know. Ooh, I saw a fin. Did you see a fin?
Yep.
This is like years before
This woman gives one of the worst performances of all time, and I love it.
I thought it was solid.
It's legitimately terrible.
Where's Finn from? Oh, he's from Star Wars, the new ones.
Or Glee.
There's a Finn on Glee.
There was for a time.
Was he a shark?
He passed away. After.
Shark get him?
No, but his last tweet was about Sharknado, which is something I'm just going to know forever, I guess.
Didn't somebody else from Glee like fall off a boat?
Yeah, she saved her son and drowned.
Oh, that's awful.
Yep.
Man,
And then there was also the pedophile who killed himself.
Jesus Christ. Glee, this is that singing high school show, right?
Yep.
Oh, boy.
One person had a drug overdose while they were making it.
Oh, boy.
That was Finn. And then of these three, one was a genuine, like, heartbreaking tragedy because they didn't do it to themselves.
right.
And she did muscle her son back into the boat and then got swept out.
Maybe that show is cursed.
Oh, it definitely is.
Except for Jane Lynch. She came out of it all right.
Yeah, she was pretty amazing on that show, honestly.
That's what everyone said.
Like, even if you don't like music and you don't like
Sorry, look at the old people getting stepped on.
even if you don't like music and you don't like the terrible comedy that the show does a lot, like, she's so good in it. She's one of the all-time, like, good supporting performers on TV, so you could get through the episodes just enjoying her.
I believe it. That's why they let her do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's still doing it, but that she did anything she wanted. Oh, look at that's not a shark.
Most recently, I've seen her on The Only Murders in the Building, where she plays hysterically the stunt double for Steve Martin's character. It's a great joke just like that.
That's a good bit. I haven't watched it because, I think you said you watched it and you said you don't like mysteries that much.
No, that's what
I
hurts
think
about it.
that's my problem too.
I just don't care who did it. There's never going to be a reveal where I'm like, oh my God. I just don't care.
Right.
I don't have any connection to
think
you.
that's a
or
flaw.
Yeah.
A real shark.
Yep. It came to the cove.
But it's the boy who cried wolf, so no one's listening to shark. They're like, a wolf. It's a shark in wolf's clothing.
When I was a kid, I thought there were two sharks here because when you first see that shot, it looks like there's two, but it's just that he's so big that his tail's sticking that far behind him.
I think that I had that thought too.
Yeah, it does. That one shot where she's looking at it looks like there's two sharks, and then you realize it's like, oh, that shark's that big.
Yep. It's a big shark.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, that's a big shark.
Look, that's the good kid. See, he's not in the water. He knows.
There's the bad kid.
No fence is getting broke today. Maybe that's why Brody sent him out to the water. He needed...
Look at this guy in his little boat. This would be you. This would be you out in the cove.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wouldn't be rowing myself anywhere.
You would
sir.
be. You would be.
I'd only have one oar. I'd be in a canoe. It's a bathtub. That's not a boat.
This would definitely be you.
Does he make it?
No.
Oh, man.
That's like the one time we actually get to see the shark before we see the shark.
That girl have a sweater on at the beach?
It's like Friday the 13th Part 4, where everyone else is in that freezing cold water, and then the one person's smart enough to be sitting there with a sweater on.
The smart girl.
Yep.
I was sad when she died.
I feel like maybe we had enough warning that we shouldn't have gone in the water.
Yeah, they tried.
Now this son is traumatized.
Well, maybe this was a master plan to get him to stop kicking over fences. I don't know how Brody's mind works. He's firing on all cylinders now. He got the sense slapped back into him.
I believe his wife here was like married to a studio executive or something.
It's one of those polygamy things then?
Yep. Yep.
All right, that's cool. That's progressive. I just saw a super cool Hawaiian shirt. I wish they would go back to it. They went through it really fast. It was bright. I think it had like fireworks on it. Uh-oh.
This is the moment that breaks us into the next act, where he stares into the water and realizes he has to go face his fear and do it himself.
Who's his fear? Jaws?
The water.
I'd be more scared of Jaws.
He's not that afraid of Jaws. He's afraid of the water.
Yeah, that's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Although that being said, I don't like the water very much either.
That actually doesn't bring us in the next act. It's just like the mid part of the movie.
Yeah, but I don't know where acts are. I thought it was when the boat goes wrong. That's when the next act happens.
This would be the midpoint, or the turning point of the movie, where he turns towards the water and says, "Now we got to go." And then
I'm coming for you, shark.
The act break happens when the shark returns after they're singing their little song.
You know what I just realized?
That we haven't had Quentin forever.
Yeah, boring. That's what I'm talking.
What do you think Quint's doing right now? That would be a fun game.
I think he's polishing shark teeth.
I think he's drawn a shark somewhere.
Probably. I think his shack is covered with sharks. Drawings. I
think he's making like big poster-sized sharks, and he's putting them in the mayor's window, so when he wakes up, there's a shark in the window.
That'd be a pretty smooth move.
That's where the mayor finally is defeated.
Oh, he'll bounce back.
Yes, he's still the mayor in Jaws 2.
He'll bounce back.
And this happens again.
I know I asked this before, but it's just another shark in the same place in the same island in part 2?
I believe so, yes.
Like a year later?
Yes. I believe part 4 is the one where it's actually coming for revenge.
Right. And one of them is in like a Disney World or something.
That's part 3.
That's part 3. And then part 4, it's seeking revenge
Yes.
on the children of Brody.
Yes.
Makes sense.
So Brody here only comes back for part 2. Hooper never comes back. Quint got eaten.
Well, yeah, because after this, Brody gets promoted to the DSV or whatever that submarine was.
That's right.
With the talking dolphin.
Sequest,
DSV.
That's right. Echo the dolphin.
No, that was a video game. What was there was a dolphin that talked.
I know. I used to have the action figure.
Dude, there was an action figure? That's pretty cool. I want one.
I never saw the show, but I had the action figure.
Oh, I watched the show a lot.
Was Jonathan Brandis in that show?
He was in that show. He talked to the dolphin, whatever. He was like the prodigy kid. I guess he was like the Will Wheaton on Star Trek, to try to give it a term that you might understand.
I do understand that term.
but he was likable.
Here's Quint back. Quint, we got him back.
Yeah, look at that shark head. Looks like a goblin.
Now they're entering his movie, and there is nothing but reasons to fear what's going to happen next all over his shanty.
This is kind of like that movie where the slaughterhouse was. This chainsaw
They
massacre.
just entered Leatherface's house and are admiring his furniture.
Yes, he's just here making himself some bone furniture like normal people do.
He's not even hiding in his face. He's like, I'm so happy you guys are here.
Yeah,
what do you think they're drinking there? I wouldn't drink it.
Now, was the big guy Leatherface in Leatherface?
What?
In Leatherface. Or no, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The big guy was Leatherface, right?
It's the one with the human face on him.
He was scared when people came to his house. Quint was happy.
Yeah.
Look at that. Fresh shark jaws for you. Just boil them up like
Make
Mom
it
used to do. Old family recipe. Look, I got all the ingredients on the shelf above it. Some soup, some ketchup.
I do genuinely love this dynamic.
The three of them together?
Yes, you have the hands-on world-weary expert, the scientifically advanced intelligent man, and then the cop who's way in over his head but has to do something. I enjoy, this is as good as it gets for me, the three.
I'll agree with that. It's a fun dynamic.
Yep. And he has immediately no respect for his background, his intelligence, or his thoughts on anything. Which I guess was true in real life as well.
Oh, what's his face didn't like?
No, these guys did not get along.
Well, it comes through in the movie.
Yes, it's great.
What has Richard Dreyfuss done that I like? Why do I think I like him?
You did What About Bob, and you just love it.
I do.
I know what you like.
I think you're right.
30-year-old movie that you watched a bunch of times when you were young.
I don't know that I saw that terrible Who is Cletus Tout, which I'm still haunted by, but I don't remember anything else I saw Richard Dreyfuss in. And I like him in this.
Oh, he's perfect in this.
And I like him in the only other movie I've apparently ever seen him in.
I've only ever seen Robert Shaw in one other movie, and it was
A Christmas Story.
He's not on a Christmas Story.
He was the dad.
No, he's not.
I don't
He
know
was dead
about
by
that. Oh, yeah, that's right. Jaws got him. That movie came out in the 80s.
The only movie I ever saw him in was From Russia with Love, where he played Red Grant, and he looks nothing like himself here.
I think this is the only movie I've ever seen him in.
He's really good in From Russia with Love. That's one of my top three favorite, two or three favorite Bond movies.
Which one is Jaws in?
He's in two of them. One's Moonraker, the one's Spy Who Loved Me, maybe.
All right.
Don't get on this boat, man. Don't get on this boat. I guess it's gonna work out for you. What happens to the little buddy here?
I never saw that little buddy before in my life.
He doesn't take him with him.
He was never in this movie before.
No. What do you have to do just to carry his shit?
I've never seen that dog before either. Is this TV adding scenes?
No.
Are you sure?
I wonder if there's a deleted scene where his buddy's like, "Yeah, I'm not getting on that fucking boat with you. You're a madman. I've been on that boat with you once before." I'm surprised he lets Hooper bring this stuff on, to be honest with you.
Hey, look, there's two kids in a boat in the background.
Yep.
On dry land.
It's perfect. They're not going out in the water anymore.
Nope. That's how you catch fish.
This is the beginning of one of my favorite little moments where it's just he hates all of Hooper's nonsense. He hates all of his stuff. He doesn't believe in any of it. And he spends the entire time just deriding him and being like, "This is what it's really like on the water." And then there comes a moment where he runs out of answers and he goes, "So what do you got?" And it cuts immediately. Then putting up the thing. It's like, it's perfect.
Yep.
It's like, that's the moment they all should know that they're in a lot of trouble.
I can't disagree with you because I love this movie too. It hangs together in every way possible. It's just fun. It's a monster movie. I like monsters. Jaws is a monster. Although I think Brody might be the real monster. I've been finding that a lot lately.
Quint's the monster.
No, I think Quint's a guy. He's a happy Leatherface. He's just minding his own business. Killing sharks.
Why would Brody be the monster? It's taken him a while to do what's right. I'll admit that.
I'm not sure what his motive. Remember, everything he's done so far was to cover up for his kid knocking over fences.
Yes.
And he distracted everything. He's done this. Now, what's the shark? Why does he got to kill the shark? I haven't figured that one out yet. But I've got the best minds working on it right now. Don't you worry.
This is a good line too. Where she's like, "What should I tell the kids?" Like, "Tell them I went fishing." He is so afraid to get on that boat.
He should say, "Tell him I went to get cigarettes," and then leave.
Yes. like my dad did.
That's the classic line. That's how you do it with style. What do we got? I just sighed right into the microphone.
Yes.
That's how bored I am waiting for a shark.
Well, the shark's coming.
That's gross.
We get some adventure on the high seas. See, that dude's still out there working stuff out for him.
Yep.
But he ain't going to take this ride. He knows better.
That's your theory, anyhow.
Yes.
I don't think
this is the first time that
he's never been there before. I've seen this movie plenty of times.
I don't think this is the first time Quint has a mental breakdown on the boat. I was going to say that. And I assume he goes out there with, if we go back, maybe the little buddies steering the boat or something.
Whoa. When does he have a mental breakdown on the boat?
No, there's just no way he's gone from the USS Indianapolis till now with this shark obsession and not lost his fucking mind on the boat before.
He's never lost his mind before. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's straight. He doesn't lose his mind on the boat this time either. He was smart to smash it all up. It was a plan. A shark catching plan. Now we got the chum trail.
Yeah, they're smart enough not to just run with 17 other boats next to them.
Now this, yeah, right. Now this started the whole shark scare and the whole overfishing of sharks and blah, blah.
They got a lot of sharks killed with this movie, yes.
Yeah, I don't remember as a kid ever being a fear to the sharks. I guess it had become such a problem by the time I started watching it from 1976 that they had already gone into we need to protect sharks mode. That's how quickly we probably killed them all off.
You started watching this in 76 when you were born in 79?
No, yeah, I did. That's how I roll. That's how it took you 49 years to figure it out.
Yeah.
This movie does weird things with your brain. Hey, they still sell that beer.
Pounding that beer. This guy's awesome.
Look at that guy. He's pounding his coffee. Crunch that styrofoam cup. Yeah. Now the litter. It'll be here for 1,000,000 years.
There's the first of a couple times we watched the tanks. I wonder if they'll come in be important later.
No.
It seems weird that they'd call them out like that.
No, they're just showing how clumsy Brody is. Look at even Hooper talks down to him. Even Hooper. And you know what Quint thinks of Hooper.
I know. Well, this is the circle of screaming here, though. We have the guy who's going to give the other guy no time. And he's like, well, now I got to turn it on you. And Brody's like, I have to take it. There's nothing I can do.
Right. There's the hierarchy. I think if you watch, Brody like smokes his cigarettes and throws Chum angrily into the water a lot because he knows he's got nowhere else to go.
He's the bitch. His jurisdiction doesn't actually extend into the sea.
That's right. He just kind of invited himself along here.
Yep.
It's these two. Well, you got to have an odd number of people, right? That way, if you got to draw straws in emergencies or something.
I don't know that that's true, but sure.
Or if you need someone to do a tiebreaker.
Okay.
Yeah, that happens. You ever get stuck or try to do a job with one other person and you disagree?
Do you think that Quint's boat is a democracy?
Yeah.
He's going to really put it up to a vote with the landlubber and the daddy's boy who's got all the money, and I don't think he's going to let them vote.
I think he will. He's going to do what he wants, but he'll let them vote. I don't think he really cares what they do with their free time.
Get him Robert Shaw.
I was playing a game on my phone this morning, and I caught a shark. I never caught a shark before. It was a big battle with my little fishing pole. And you know what? My fishing pole was about to break. I wasn't supposed to catch something big.
Was the game you were playing the Nintendo game?
No, it's some little flash game that you download on your phone.
Oh, that's right. You said you were on your phone, not on Switch.
Yeah. What game would I be playing on Switch? Oh, Animal Crossing. No, I don't think I've ever caught a shark in Animal Crossing. Oh, no. I haven't been to my village since Halloween.
Oh, they're dead now.
I got to harvest those pumpkins before.
I'm waiting for them to make one where there's at least a mode you can play on.
Like hard mode?
Yeah, where your house just falls apart, gets raided. I mean, I guess it does. Can people go to other people's things and steal all their fruits and stuff?
You can?
I think so.
I didn't know that. I don't travel much in the greater Animal Crossing world. I stay on Fred's little island and I just do my things.
You can steal all our fruit.
Oh, no, but she's the primary person. So I found out that you can't progress the game unless she progresses the game. So I was stuck for a very long time without like a museum or anything. I was just walking around fishing. And I was like, this sucks.
But you could make your own and then visit hers.
I couldn't. Well, I didn't think to make my own. I just jumped on board.
And you could still do it. Just throw that up there.
I haven't played since October.
I'm pretty sure you can move too.
So
you can just
like
go
so
to
much
another
work.
place and do it from there.
Oh, I played on hers because she stopped playing immediately.
Yeah.
So then I played on hers to progress it, and then I went back. I still got to play on hers to build other people's houses.
How deep are you into Tom Nook?
Tom Nook cost me. I think I saw a thing where he was voted like the worst villain of all time in video games, and I 100% believe it. Because Tom Nook owns that shop on that island when you play this game. And as soon as you get there, you're in debt to him. And you never get out of it. You just keep building bigger houses. There's no option that says, I'm comfy with the space I live in.
That's right.
And now in the new one, he's got his kids.
Yes, I know.
His kids are doing it,
And
too.
they're always laughing at you.
Always mocking you. And they got their store, but they keep the stupid hours. And I'm like, that's not when I can play this game. Normal times.
And Pete, I am not unfamiliar to the Animal Crossing world.
Oh, I know. It's frustrating. I was playing the one for the GameCube a couple of years back, and there's all sorts of cheats online. Mm-hmm. So you can get type in codes to Nook and get money. And I'm like, this is the best game ever.
So you're the biggest villain.
I got out of debt immediately, Brian. Well, not immediately. I had to type the code in a bunch because you only get so many dollars per time, or coins, rather. Got to stay hip with the currency. It's coins there, sand dollars in the ocean, and
clams.
Clams, baby.
It's sand dollars now. It was clams in the 1950s.
Got to take them clams to the casino. That's food, you know.
I enjoyed my joke.
I enjoyed my joke. What are these two doing? Did they catch a fish yet?
Yeah, they're arguing over what he's got.
Ooh. You know what he's got?
Cooper refuses to believe that he's got a beat on the shark already. But again, Quint finds this motherfucker right away.
Did you ever watch the movie Dragonheart with Dennis Quaid and Sean Connery as the voice of a dragon?
No.
Well,
Pete, we've been over this.
I believe there was a Dina Meyer as well.
You got dragons and shit? Keep it away from me. Not interested.
Well, in this movie, the knight and the dragon had a little thing going on where they were working together. The dragon would terrorize.
They were fucking.
Yeah, they did. That was in the, I think implied, maybe in extended features if they had those back then. But I'm thinking Quint and the shark are in on it together now. This is all a scam. That's why he could get a beat on him so quick.
I mentioned last time that we never see the shark doing any of this damage. It could just be Quint and the snorkel.
That's right.
He raises up the interest in this so he can get himself paid, or at least, get himself funded to get out there and start murdering sharks again.
And you know what? In that Dragonheart movie, Dennis Quaid had killed so many, or the knights had killed so many dragons, they were all dead except for Sean Connery. I think Quint's killed so many sharks that they're all dead except for Jaws.
Is that 90s?
I think it was.
90s were crazy, man. We let Dennis Quaid be a lead star in a movie.
Did you ever see Inner Space?
No.
Martin Short and Meg Ryan. It's a good one. And Dennis Quaid, of course.
Yeah.
He gets shrunk down tiny and put into a body.
Never seen. Is it Martin Short's body?
So
he can do comedy stuff?
Of course it is.
That sounds legitimately awful.
But
I would watch a remake with Dana Carvey.
Then they kiss, Meg Ryan and the other guy, because she's married, I think, to Dennis Quaid. Mm-hmm. And then he gets transferred into her, and he finds out she's pregnant. Mm. Ooh, and I think they have to kiss or something or spit in each other's mouth to get him back into where he needs to be. I don't remember. It's been a while. But it was that is why it was Martin Short.
Yeah.
Because he ran around being funny.
Bits. Yeah. He said there's good Martin Short and bad Martin Short, and Martin Short doing physical comedy is bad Martin Short to me.
I don't know when I like Martin Short, but when he does, I liked him in Arrested Development, and that was physical.
I liked him in, he's really good in Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah, I'm never going to watch it, though.
And he was good as Marshall's boss on How I Met Your Mother.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, he's good when he's just being funny, like he's a funny person, but he's not funny when he's...
the shark's coming. Yes. The shark's coming.
Come down here, chum some of this shit.
Brody's throwing shark bits or fish bits in the water. You think it's shark? You think Quint's cruel like that and feeds shark to shark?
Probably, yeah.
Look at that.
Now we're going to get the first of 3 times he talks about a bigger boat, which I think has been lost to history.
What do you mean?
This is the moment everyone remembers. He backs in and says, you're going to need a bigger boat.
Right.
He says it 2 more times. He becomes obsessed with getting to shore and getting a bigger boat.
Oh, okay. Throughout the course, the remaining...
Yes,
okay.
There's one. No, in the next couple minutes, he's going to say it 2 more times.
Yeah, look at him. He's stunned. I'm watching this.
Because it's so good.
I know. That's the problem with doing a watch-along with a movie like this. I just look, there's those 2 sharks coming.
Yep, it does look like 2 sharks. It's so crazy how big it is.
I think it's 2 sharks.
I think it's a shark and then that little boy pretending to be a shark again.
They're teamed up?
Yes.
This movie's complicated.
Yes.
This is why I don't like mysteries, Brian. At the end of the day, I really don't care. See, where'd the second one go? They split up.
He drowned. Brody lost another one. Shark looks good.
Well, yeah, because we can't see it. They keep it underwater.
Yeah.
So it was a mess.
3 tons of them.
He was 3 tons?
That's what he said.
Oh, I thought you meant the mechanical shark. And I'm like, that's pretty big.
Maybe he was talking about the mechanical shark.
Maybe. And then I wondered how big the dinosaur was in Jurassic Park. And then I wonder if the shark from Jaws was still around, if they could put it in Jurassic Park and make him fight that dinosaur.
Oh, this is good, too. That little slip is so good.
Oh, when they're running across the front of the boat. Look at Quint. He's got something to do.
He's been preparing for this moment his whole life. Well, at least since 1945.
Since he spent time, that speech is coming.
I know.
You know, the problem is I'm going to sit here and watch this speech. There's a lot of problems, but that speech in particular is going to be hard to not just sit there for 5 minutes of silence.
This is great because he's doing exactly what Spielberg is doing in real life.
Who? What?
He's trying to put him out there on the deck so we can get something to give show the size comparison.
Oh, right.
And he's like, fuck this. But that's exactly what Spielberg has to do in real life. So I wonder if that's where the scene comes from.
Perhaps it does.
Yes.
Because
Like,
Spielberg gets
this.
it. He's like, come on. Here's the line for you, Dreyfus. This will show that you're a real guy.
But it's also so true. Like, I need it, or else it doesn't, you're not going to be able to compare it to anything. And that's how Spielberg has to film the shark also.
I use bananas usually.
Yes, you use bananas for a lot of things. That's your counting measure. That's your ranking system.
Bananas are really cheap. Like, super cheap. I don't know if you've looked at the prices or ever bought bananas.
It's
but
a banana, Pete. How much could it cost? $10?
You not even close. For $10, I think you get all the bananas at the store.
Wow.
So it's a pretty easy tool to have on hand at all times.
Yeah, bananas have never really gone up in price, have they?
No. Although I think they're all about to die. I keep hearing dire warnings from the internet that bananas are about to be gone.
I hear stuff like that too. And the older I get, the less important it becomes to me because, like, yeah, so am I.
See, I like bananas, and I would like to have them passed on.
Spielberg actually putting a person there so you can see this what he's doing now on the movie, what Hooper was trying to get to do inside of the movie.
Oh, I see.
You can see the scale now because he's got Hooper or Quint out there in front of the shark.
It is so weird what Spielberg has decided to do with film now.
Yes, because this is, I think, as good as anybody's ever done. It reinvented summer action movie. It basically invented summer blockbuster.
Yeah, that was my understanding, that it wasn't really a thing until this.
Yeah. But this is, I mean, of course, if everybody went and saw this movie in the theater, like, you'd tell everybody and they'd go see it, and they just, like, every filmmaker would be like, I have to make a movie like that.
Well, the Godzilla -1 has that very Jaws-esque scene.
Yes, this scene is basically taken in that, and it's perfect.
And it works.
Yeah. Spielberg said he saw saw Godzilla -1 3 times and he loved it. He said he loved it. I hope Jaws -1 would be that prequel about Quint that I want so bad. Or we can find out what his little buddies and him are doing on that boat.
I wonder who could play a young Quint.
Timothy Chalamet. Doesn't he get cast in everything?
I have no idea. I really don't.
I don't know. Quint is so of his time. What a beautiful shot. Quint is so of his era. I just don't know who could do it.
A young Quint. Ewan McGregor.
Michael Fassbender.
I think both of them are older than Quint was while he made this movie.
Definitely. I picked an actual young person. Oh, Quint's in his zone now.
Look at him. He's so happy.
This is the third time he's going to say the picker boat thing. I missed the second one.
But you've got him tracked in your head.
Yeah.
You've got brain space devoted to it.
Because I couldn't believe that I was hearing it 3 times.
I feel like I knew that.
Fade out.
Fade to black.
Now we're going to get it.
We're going to get the speech. I don't want to hit the speech. I like it when they sing their song. I still sing this song, the happy song.
I know, you told me.
Want me to sing it for you?
You can sing it when it comes up.
You want me to sing it for you while the speech is going on?
That would be weird.
And then when it actually happens, we won't.
This guy's nuts.
Hey, Hey, you know who else can pull out their teeth and new ones grow in? Sharks.
Is that true?
They never stop growing teeth.
I learned something about sharks today.
They got rows and rows and rows. Why are they rubbing heads?
Because they're comparing scars.
Oh, yeah, right. Like from Lethal Weapon 3.
Did they do it in Lethal Weapon 3? Yeah, they did. And Chasing Amy.
Oh, they did?
Which takes it directly, exactly from this in a booth where they're comparing scars they got while going down on women.
I didn't realize it was, I knew it was from here. I didn't realize it was in a booth as well.
Yes.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
That one's taken exactly copying this on purpose.
Right.
Isn't Jason Lee's character in Mallrats called Brody?
I think he is,
Yeah,
as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Was he? And he was the sheriff of that mall. The sheriff of Cool. And I think Ben Affleck was the mayor.
Ben Affleck was the mayor of Fashionable Male.
Yep. Man,
Who'd like to have sex in very uncomfortable places.
that movie was, no wonder it did so poorly. It was just such a ripoff. Oh, they're so happy together.
Yep. This is where he looks down. He's going to look down and see his appendix scar or something and be like, never mind.
I remember I had to ask my mom what that was because I didn't know why he had a scar there.
Yeah.
And then I had to ask her what an appendix was.
Uh-huh.
And then she said it was some part of a book or something.
What's crazy was that was this morning.
It was this morning.
He took her to the doctor and you're like, Mom, what's an appendix scar? What's an appendix?
No, what I said was, what's that thing on that guy in that Jaws movie when he lifts up his shirt when they're comparing scars? And she said, oh, well, first she took a while to get there. But then she said it's an appendix scar.
Yeah.
And then I said, oh, I see.
Now here we go. The best monologue in film history.
What about, doesn't that guy in 300 give a speech?
Probably.
You think this is better than that?
I do think this is better than Zack Snyder's 300, yes. Just go ahead and clear your throat right into the microphone.
What about Ferris Bueller's Day Off when
Which
he
speech was
talks to the thing?
Which monologue did he talk?
Any one of them.
Just talking to us?
Yeah. Do you think this is better?
I think this might be better than that.
All right. All right. Put down a lot of gauntlets today, and I am not rising to any of them.
Yes, the most famous scene with the least famous person.
Don't have it.
Best monologue in film history.
Yep, those two. I feel like there was another one too, but I forgot it. So I just got to think of those two.
Whether or not it's the opening is the beginning
Right.
of those slasher kills.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Now, the story here goes that Robert Shaw was a drunk, and he flubbed take after take of this. And Spielberg was just like, we got to move on. He was just going to cobble it together. And then he went to go like nap it off for a minute, his drunken state.
Okay.
And he got up and he asked, can we just do it one more time? And that's the one they use because he fucking nails it.
So he's drunk in this.
He's hungover in this.
Okay.
Because he went to sober up a bit.
And then he came back.
But the original thing we would have gotten was just cobbling together pieces of this because they couldn't get him to do it well. And instead, he comes back and just fucking nails it.
Wow.
And I've mentioned this before, but it's important. He tells the story just to Brody because, well, his character can't know that he's going to die. The movie does know. So he's passing this to Brody because Brody's going to be the one that has to take care of business.
But Brody was already going to take care of business.
No, he wasn't. Quint was taking care of business.
Well, so Quint's naming his successor here is what you're telling me.
He's got to let him know what this is and kind of pass his passion on to him because, first of all, he doesn't believe Hooper can do shit.
Poor Hooper.
And secondly, because it is Brody's story. He's giving the story back to Brody now because Quint has hijacked the story since they got on the boat.
All right. This was all intentional in the movie.
Yes, I believe so. It's too perfect. It's like, I don't know who wrote the script. Benchley didn't write the script, did he?
I have no idea.
Yeah. He wrote the book, which has a lot of problems, so I don't think he wrote the script. Well, I think, like, we know that from this scene, though, this speech isn't in the script like this.
It's not?
No, there's pieces of ideas of it. The idea of the USS Indianapolis is in the script. This actual great speech he gives isn't in there. He says different things that aren't nearly as interesting. Part of it's him, part of it's rewrites on set, part of it's Spielberg. They just kind of like work together to make this thing in the moment, and look what we got.
What has Spielberg become?
Old. How many times do I have to tell you that? The
don't-
problem is he's old.
But then I look at this and I feel that happens a lot.
I mean, how old was when he made this? He was in his 20s.
Yeah, but I'd like to think that when you get old, you don't just stop putting out things that are interesting.
Well, what's the last interesting movie he made? I don't mean good, because I think he still makes good movies. What's the last interesting movie he made? Yeah, he makes good movies that aren't for me. I don't think Bridge of Spies is going to be a bad movie, but I have no interest in seeing it.
It seems really boring. It seems like it's a movie no one wants to see.
Yeah. I liked Lincoln, but like that's not an interesting movie. I mean,
It started on
it's
him.
not a dynamic movie or anything like that.
No.
I know you have a big problem with Lincoln.
I really, that stupid guy made us stay together with the South.
Yep.
It's all his fault.
I don't know when the last. Maybe the word is fun. What's the last fun movie he made?
Did he do Super 8? No, that
No.
was J.J. Abrams trying to be
Yes.
like Spielberg.
Yeah.
Okay. I watched that one. I don't remember it. I really don't know. These are the questions, and I don't know anyone else who's more famous. You are killing me. I don't know when I'm going to do it. Who is more famous?
Less famous. A more famous scene with a
yeah.
less famous version.
What about the Gerber baby?
What movie was he in? And everybody knows who the Gerber baby is, so it's going to be a really famous scene. It's going to have to be.
The Look Who's Talking franchise. I'm pretty sure the Gerber baby pops up in that.
So that's more famous than the opening of Jaws. And the Gerber baby, one of the most famous, iconic things in the history of advertising, is less famous than a person who you don't know the name of right now. I've said it a dozen times.
The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Well, pretty famous.
I think I'm getting your question wrong somewhere.
Yes.
Less famous. The guy at the supermarket who, when I was putting my cart away, he said, "Wow, your shirt's really cool. Can I get a picture?" And he liked my sunglasses, and he said I had a whole vibe going on.
You didn't give him a picture, did you?
Sure did.
You're going to get murdered.
He took my picture.
Yeah, it's on his wall right now.
With my cool Hawaiian shirt and my awesome sunglasses,
He's-
standing next to some carts in a parking lot.
He went back to his Quinn shack and he's covered himself in whale blubber and he's
You know what's-
masturbating to it right now.
He had me like pose in
Shark's
the back of my car.
Here's your song.
Oh yeah, this is a good song. But now I'm worried because I realized when I was posing on the back of the car, my license plate was also there.
Did your license plate say fresh?
It did not. It said whatever numbers and letters New York State gave me.
Here's our third act, break feet.
No, this is our first act. This movie is like Memento.
Yeah, and Memento doesn't go backwards. Memento meets in the middle.
From the middle out. Hey, water's not supposed to be inside a boat.
Well, how would you die of thirst if it wasn't?
Water everywhere, so let's all have a drink.
You can drink ocean water, right?
I'm pretty sure you can.
Yeah, I think that it's safe.
I every time I've gone to the beach, I drink.
Me too.
I realize also that people pee in the water a lot.
I think that you're okay per capita in the ocean.
I don't know.
You know, fish are peeing in that water
What?
all the time.
They don't come up. That's why I thought they jumped into the air, because they pee in the air like we pee in the water.
How many fish do you watch jump in the air?
I see it all the time. Like when those whales come flying out of the water, that's so they can pee.
Yeah, but there's billions and billions of fish in there. It's just shooting with the... Get away from this man. Get away from this man.
What? What if he gets it?
Yeah.
What if he shoots it right in its beady, cold, dead black eye?
When he gets the third barrel on him, and he's like, "Oh, nothing can go down with 3." And that's when it goes down with the 3 barrels. He's like, I realize how strong it is. That's when he turns to Hooper and he's like, "So what else did you bring on the boat?"
Well, yeah, I guess Quint would know. I was going to argue that maybe he didn't know this whole time because he is crazy, and maybe 3 isn't
There's
a
that
lot.
shooting star.
Oh, yeah. I found that out, and I pointed that out.
I think he does it twice. But
Yeah, it does.
There's the one. That's the one he could have gotten away with, I think.
But then, yeah, there it is right
Yeah,
there.
that one you can't get away with 2 in like a minute.
No.
And the first one looked much cooler.
Why did he do it again?
I don't know.
Because he's a weirdo? He had a reason.
Yeah.
I used to know that reason, Brian.
He pretended it was real.
Yeah, but I don't remember why.
And he followed it up by doing a second one. And then he put it in every movie. And it's like, I don't think it's real.
In case anybody missed that first one, because that was too quick. Is that coffee?
I like that they're both just working under the... It's such a cool Why was Spielberg so good at this?
That's why I keep coming back to what happened.
I know, he was so good at this.
Because this is a solid movie, however many years later it is from 1976.
But like, look at this. Like, look at these little tricks he's putting in there that are just so interesting. And they're not even like anything you think about when you think of Jaws. It's like the 1,000th thing you'd think of, but it's still like fucking cool.
The dynamics between these three keep shifting all the time, and it's fun. But Brody's always the bitch.
Yes, Brody's
even
the bitch.
when he blows up Jaws, he's still a bitch. And I still haven't figured out why he's doing it, because he's going to go home to that kid who he's got to keep covering up for.
Well, like, we don't know. The kid was traumatized. He might just be in a coma right now, just staring at nothing.
What happens in part 2?
I don't remember.
Oh. The mystery remains.
I know one of the kids gets eaten in part 4.
Are they grown-ups or still kids?
They're grown-ups.
Okay. Then it's less tragic, I guess.
I guess.
They had a good run. If your dad goes around killing a bunch of sharks in the same family, it's only a matter of time before you start.
Until they come for revenge.
Yep.
They follow you down to the Florida Keys and come for revenge.
It's like a Hatfields and a McCoy situation. It's the Brodies and the Jawses.
Oh, fuck this shark, man. The shark's terrifying.
I saw his cold, dead eyes, Brian. I saw them.
Like
and
a
they frightened
doll's
me.
eyes. This was 75, and he referred to eyes as the dead eyes, the doll's eyes. And in 78, we're going to get
Doll parts.
Halloween, where Loomis is going to refer to them as the devil's eyes.
The shark's eyes or Michael
The evil
Myers?
Michael Myers. So the devil's eyes.
Good old Loomis.
You know, this is why you shouldn't have gotten on this boat.
Why? Because he's
He's
smashing the radio?
He's not turning back. He's not calling for help. He's
Yeah.
going to get this fucking shark or die.
Yeah, what's Brody doing? Brody knows he's not allowed in the cabin without permission. He's supposed to sit outside.
I just think it's on Brody. He shouldn't be surprised. It's on him that this happened.
It's on Brody that this happened?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
They shouldn't have gone out here with Quint.
Oh, no. It's on Brody because he was inside where he wasn't supposed to be, and then Quint could have used that machine to call for help, but he had to make an example to stupid Brody.
Well, he used the machine earlier to lie to his wife.
Well, that was furthering the cause. He's allowed to do that. And he probably had permission. Quint runs a tight ship. Haven't you seen? He drinks and drives. There's no laws about that on the ocean, Brian.
Well, it's international waters.
Yeah, there's no laws in international waters.
That's right.
That's why the shark gets away with this.
Yeah, that's right. It's when he moved into the cove where he's like, oh, we got to
Yeah.
get this man under arrest.
That's why Brody's here. I figured it out now. He's here to make a collar.
Yes, that's why you need a cop.
He's going to slam him in the old jail.
You could use Slammer.
Slammer. I went with Slammer, so I'm going to slam him in the Slammer.
If in Ghostbusters it had just run into Bill Murray and knocked him over, would he have been named Slammer? And then he'd be like, he slammed me. And he would have been happy because he wouldn't have that gook on him, which, you know, when we get to the ending, he's like, don't put any of that shit on me.
Because he was pretty gooked up when he got hit.
You can tell what order they shot him, and that's all I'm saying.
You're not wrong.
He
I
let
never saw
himself
that.
be slimed, and then they get to the end, he's like, we got to put whipped cream on. He's like, nope.
You got to put it on everyone else.
Put it on
I
everyone
already
else.
played that game.
Put a little on top of me. That'll be fine.
I hear that Bill Murray's a grump, too.
There you go. He could play the young Quint.
Yes, Bill Murray.
Modern day Bill Murray is the young Quint.
I like it. I think it'll work.
I think it'll work, too.
I think it's got legs.
Unlike the shark.
Unlike the shark. I wonder
I
if
can't
sharks...
unsee it now. He should be Quint.
That's your headcanon? Mm-hmm. I'd like it, too.
I want 80-year-old Bill Murray to play 20-year-old Quint. I'm into it. I don't care.
Ooh. Have they remade Jaws ever?
Yeah, 1,000 times, just not as Jaws.
Just different things?
They've remade Jaws with sharks. They've remade Jaws with land creatures. Grizzly is a remake of Jaws. All they do is remake Jaws.
So this was really the first one, huh?
Yes.
Like the real first creature that attacks
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, if you want kaiju movies, obviously Godzilla existed and stuff.
Yeah, but I guess this is a real animal. I guess real animals didn't attack people in sin. Didn't lions eat people? Rawr.
Tigers and bears.
Oh my. I think the Bears are going to be the Hard Knocks team this year.
That's correct.
Look at me knowing something.
Yeah, it's fairly new information, too.
I don't know
At the time of this recording, I believe it was announced yesterday.
I don't know how I heard about it.
I don't either.
I was cleaning out my garage yesterday.
Did you have the radio on?
No. Just sitting there, cleaning.
Were you cleaning it out with the head of NFL Films? Oh, yeah, he was there. That's what that explains it.
People would show up and talk to me for a while. I don't know what they said. I was busy cleaning, thinking my thoughts. Mostly, where does this thing go? Where does that thing go?
Yeah, this is. I think they just figured it out. Honestly, I think they just figured out that they're in trouble here because he's like, "Why are we going out to sea? Let's lead them inside." And they both look at each other. They look at Quint, look at each other like, "This guy's fucking not going to let us do that, is he?"
No, but that's all right. They gets the job done. I like that they gave Quint a really good story too.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched something recently, and it was such a tacked-on story that it disappointed me. I'll try to think of it.
Like, we can't wait.
All right, no, be quiet. No one talk until I figure out what it is that I'm thinking of. Pop-Tarts.
First time I saw this movie, maybe the 10th time I saw it, I thought this would be a bigger deal. It's like, no, he just gets out of it.
The rope snapping?
Yeah, on his legs.
I've been afraid of that. I feel like that's happened to me a few times.
Oh, when you were out on your boat hunting sharks?
I've been out on the ocean before.
I have too.
I was on a whale watching boat.
Wow, did you see any whales?
Yeah, we saw a bunch of whales.
Wow.
They were all over the place.
Those tanks.
What's up with those tanks, yo?
I don't know.
Are they gonna...
Tanks that one of us thought was nitrogen and one of us thought was hydrogen.
What is it?
Oxygen.
Why did we not think it was oxygen?
I don't know, but neither of us came up with that when we were discussing the tanks.
Boy, that is a disappointing fact to learn about past us as we're morons.
Yeah.
There's that shark.
Hey, Bruce.
What's he chewing on? What you riding on there, Jaws?
Now, Bruce Campbell would have been alive already. So is this shark named after Bruce Campbell?
Obviously.
A young Bruce Campbell?
They saw that chin on Bruce, and they're like...
Let's get it. Let's get this shark named Bruce.
But we'll put its nose like Bruce Campbell's chin. Quint's going bald.
Yeah, it's not going to matter for long.
Yeah, I guess not. It's better to go out now. Oh, Dreyfus.
Oh, that's a good shot.
That was a good shot. That was the barrel flying past his face. Stupid Brody. Is Brody helping right now, or is he just getting in the way?
It's kind of just in the way.
Yeah, that's what I figured. He's always just in the way. They're trying to catch the shark.
He's holding the part of the line that's already down, so I don't think it's doing anything, honestly.
They got 10 barrels on this shark. They haven't fed it any oxygen. Oh, yeah, they fixed the boat, but now look. The water got in. Now, is the shark taking them out to the ocean or into land?
Quint was driving it into the water.
So the shark is now taking them back to shore.
No, I think they're just out in the water. I don't think the shark is doing anything.
Well, it's taking them in a direction. Might be towards shore.
Again, I think Quint took the shark in this direction.
But the shark was going the opposite way.
Because Quint was driving it out there.
So the shark was driving it back.
You don't make any sense. They've gotten farther into the water. Let me ask you a question about how many directions you think there are.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's only towards land and away from land?
Pretty much.
Okay. There's not like away from land in other directions?
Is it away from land?
This is terrible. This is like the odds of something happening is always 50-50. Either will or won't.
Yeah, that's right. It will.
I
never thought about that before.
That's not how this works.
Man, how do you ever win? That's why the house always wins, right? Because it's 50-50.
Like, what are the odds that aliens come down today? 50-50. Either they will or they won't. That's not how it works. So this is now the 3 barrels go under. And now Quint is out of answers.
I mean, he's tried everything else.
Yeah, he's out of... In this madman...
He's smashed his radio. He shot at it with a rifle.
He destroyed his boat.
He shot at it with some barrels.
It's now sinking.
Yep, I'm out. What do you got,
Richard
like, Dreyfuss?
Yeah, he's like, well, shit.
What do you got, Mr. Holland's Opus?
Everything I know is now wrong. And that's not good because we're out here and he's trapped us on a sinking boat.
Even landlubber Brody knows water should be on the outside of a boat.
That's right. Oh, this some of the stuff with this boat sinking is like unbelievably good.
Oh, it going down, being hit by the shark.
When he's climbing the mast to shoot at it, it's like, how do they even get these shots? They're so fucking good. Because, again, they didn't shoot this in a tank like you normally would. This was such a troubled production and so expensive because this fucker took them out into the water.
No kidding.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. I don't know if I knew that before.
It was one of the hardest shoots of all time.
But it works.
And now he's taking him back in.
Because the shark's following him.
Yeah.
He knows. He's crafty. He's going to lure the shark in, and then he's going to spin around and take him back out.
But I just want to point out, if they went to the left, that'd be away from shore. If they went to the right, that'd be away from shore.
Yeah.
If they went backwards, away from shore.
Yeah, they're either going away from shore or to shore.
All right.
So he was taking them back to shore. Logically, because the boat was being pulled backwards.
This guy, they still don't get it. Hooper's like, hey, what you doing back there? He's like, he's going to drown this boat, you dumb asshole.
Quint's a complicated guy, Brian.
He's actually a very simple guy.
No, there's a lot going on. Look, Hooper doesn't belong up there. Even though he did a few minutes.
Threw him off the fucking boat. No wonder they hated each other.
Imagine the scene if he had fallen off.
Pretty funny.
They would have kept it in.
Look, he's rocking out. I love it.
He's having fun. They're breaking ships.
He saw earlier that the water had gotten in, so he knew he could drown the boat.
That's right. All right. Bye, kitty. My wife just came by. She said she was going to the store. Want anything from the store, Brian?
I would like a Quint action figure.
Oh, man, that'd be pretty cool.
I'm sure there was one somewhere.
I bet you there isn't.
That's the bet you want to make. Well, you know, it's 50-50. There either is or it isn't.
I like those odds.
Every odds are 50-50.
That's why I like them. There's no real downside to losing. That boat's on fire. It's not coming back. Also, I've seen the movie. It sinks.
So they have to use these barrels because they couldn't get the shark to work. The barrels are 10 times more effective than the shark.
Has there ever been a script, like the script that was supposed to happen?
Well, I'm sure that the script would tell you what's supposed to happen in it, yeah.
No, I meant...
The shooting script would probably tell you what's supposed to happen, sure.
I've never read it. I didn't know those things exist anymore. I'm just curious, I guess. Because the barrels are a big part of the shark hunt. Mm-hmm. Shooting them with the barrels and tracking them, that just seems like it was part of the story. It's so well incorporated.
Yeah, they had to... I'm sure the barrels were part of it, but they have to use it for the entire third act because they couldn't get the shark to work for most part.
But it works so well, it makes me wonder, what were they planning on doing instead?
Just having the shark sitting around.
The shark's just sitting around, doesn't attack them, just hangs out, waves. So, hey, how you doing?
Do you think they figured out yet that they're fucked?
No.
He's got life jackets for him.
Why do you keep saying they're fucked? They're fine. Got life jackets.
They are going to live, that's true.
They got life jackets.
He just, look upon my works.
He's pleased with himself. He knows he's got that shark right where he wants him.
Well, he knows he's going to get this face off with him. Face off.
Ooh.
I'd like to see Quint change faces with the shark. Imagine having to wake up in the face of the man who killed your friends.
That'd be crazy. They should get Nicolas Cage to play the shark.
This is where he lets him try his business. Like, what do you got?
Hey, that'll be the Quint prequel. It'll be Bill Murray changing faces.
With the shark?
With the shark. And who's the shark going to be played by?
Jack Black.
No, that would be good too.
No, it wouldn't be, but it's always Jack Black.
I like Jack Black. No, I just said who it was going to be, and then I completely forgot.
That was a great cut.
I missed it. Oh, what do you got?
No, when he says to him, he's like, it's like, that's not going to work at all. He's like, you got a better idea? And it cuts to them putting it together. Because even Brody's like, I don't know if I believe any of Hooper's shit anymore. Your time to shine, college guy.
Oh, he's going to try. What happens? He fumbles the stab?
He drops it because he drops everything. He drops that tooth.
Oh, yeah.
That was his proof. He dropped it. Oh, look, oxygen tanks. Actually, he needs one this time.
But those are different tanks.
Those are different tanks, too.
Yeah, see, that's
Those
why.
are scuba tanks.
Right. So why do they have oxygen in the other ones? What do you use them for?
Breathing.
But why do you need a...
Boy, they
That
lingered
one
on
said
that.
propane.
They did say propane, didn't they?
I swear to God, that said propane.
Hey, we were right. Although I think we both named it something different.
Yeah, but why is Richard Dreyfuss breathing in propane right now? That is the question I now have to ask. Because I've smelled propane when I don't put it on my grill correctly. I don't feel like I want to go huff it. I think it would like hurt.
It would be terrible if you like developed a cough or something.
With propane?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would.
Ain't got no spit. It's a fun way to say that he's nervous as shit.
You're supposed to spit in your face mask.
He just did.
Yeah, and then wipe it. That keeps the moisture away.
Yeah, he just did.
I was a scuba diver before.
But he had no spit because he's so nervous.
You always got spit.
Tell him that.
Hey, Richard Dreyfuss, I heard that he does not say nice things or be coherent anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I'll save it. I'll save it for What About Bob? I'll try to tell him then.
He's the only one of these three still alive.
What?
So he might get to make it to the 50th anniversary, but they probably can't invite him to any of that stuff.
Brody's dead?
Yeah.
When did he die?
Like 10 years ago.
What? No one told me.
Maybe longer.
No one told me the captain of the Sequest died.
Yeah. A while back.
Next, you're going to tell me Jonathan Brandis died. Oh, no.
He's in Chuck Norris heaven.
I don't know what that means.
When he was in Sidekicks with Chuck Norris.
Is Chuck Norris dead?
No, Chuck Norris can't die.
Oh, okay. Whew, that's what I remember from the early aughts. Chuck Norris was invincible.
That's right.
Ooh, there's a shark. It's a big shark.
It's a land shark.
Remember shark gummies? Or gummy sharks, I think they were called? They were pretty good. They were much better than your typical gummy treat. I don't know that they exist anymore.
I do.
Do you?
I think they do. I think they... That's a tough one because it's been a while since I've gone to that aisle and you could buy all the bulk stuff.
I don't go to the bulk
aisle
aisle
anymore. I think they do.
Really? Here in these times of the COVID?
That's a good point.
We got rid of them when COVID first started, those many years ago. But they're still... I don't know if they're still there. I don't remember seeing them.
That's a fair point. I haven't checked for a while. You know how you've been with me shopping though. I only go to the places I need to go to when I get that list.
There's no wandering for you. You have a list. You're the only person I know who has I don't mean like a list like I have a list where I just write stuff down and then try to remember to bring the list with me when I go shopping. Yeah. You have what aisle it's in, what in order so you can get all the things in each aisle.
And I don't buy one thing that's not on that list. No wandering eye here.
I walk in and buy everything. I've
been shopping with you too.
You know all the stuff that they put in by the register, all the magazines. I buy all of it. It's there for me.
And you just like walk down the aisles whistling, going, "Oh, one of you, one of you, one of you." And I'm like, I've made these determinations already. Here's the things I need to get.
I have my list, but there's lots of fun stuff when you go shopping. They sell football cards at the grocery store.
Yeah,
that's an aisle you go down.
Not on my list.
But it's there.
Yeah, I only hit the aisles I need to hit. I get in and out as fast as human possible. Did you see we're getting a Shake Shack, Pete?
Yeah. They're putting it in the same spot they're putting everything.
Yes.
I don't think...
That's near my house, though, so that's fine.
Yeah, but you're never going to get to it.
What are you talking about?
That little spot right there, they're putting that Costco there. They've already got the Target and all these other things. There's no room.
That's not where the Target is.
Yeah, that's the Target. That's where the Shake Shack's going.
No, it's not. It's going where the bank is, before that, where the Swiss Chalet used to be.
That's not what I heard.
Well, you were wrong.
The Swiss Chalet's coming back.
No, it's not.
That's what I heard.
That'd be the greatest thing ever. Don't lie to me.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that what would happen. I didn't mean to make that reaction occur in you.
It's in that part though, not the part. The Target is next to the Best Buy. This is not in that plaza. This is in the plaza right before that, on Niagara Falls Boulevard.
Meh. It's going to be a mess.
That's fine.
It's going to be a mess. What's a Shake Shack? They just have shakes?
They have burgers and shakes and chicken fingers and things like that.
When it was like an oil place, but they served food instead. Not Jiffy Lube, but not Quickie Lube. It was some food place.
Yeah, there's one on Union, I think.
What's it called?
I don't remember.
Me neither.
But I drive by it and I always think it looks like a gas station. And I'm like, oh, that's where you go to sit to get the food.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Never eat there.
It was terrible. Don't eat there. Got a fried pickle. Gross.
Seems like you picked the grossest thing on the menu.
What are you talking about? Fried pickles are delicious.
If you put your wiener into the outlet, you can also get a fried pickle.
That's pretty solid.
Thank you.
That's pretty solid.
It has to be kind of solid to get it in there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got to think nice thoughts.
This is the sad, tragic passing of Quint.
Not gonna lie.
This boat trip is fucking awesome. This is the best. This boat sinking is fucking awesome.
It is. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Oh, look. It was the thing again.
The propane?
Yeah.
It's propane.
Well, it propelled him down to the bottom of the boat.
That's why Hooper was dropping everything. He's fucking huffed up on propane instead of oxygen. He can't function anymore.
Look at this college boy. Can't even tell oxygen from propane. Oh, no. But he's going to grab that cleaver he put there earlier.
Yep.
He stuck that in there earlier. And now he's stabbing it. I love this. I love the way this guy goes out.
You're supposed to go for the eyes and the nose, I think.
Look, that's just Quint.
No, the gills.
I've said this before. That's just Quint in his thing. And I know he's dead. Like, Robert Shaw is just in that shark, and they don't have a second way to do that.
So that was him. They just pulled down.
I don't believe it isn't.
Okay, you don't think they had a dummy or anything?
I don't think they did.
It looks like it.
I don't think they had a dummy for it.
It looks really smooth. Oh,
I love
Jaws.
that.
You don't belong in
it.
the
Looks
boat.
so good. Well, we know what happens when you go into Quint's
Yeah.
cabin. You're not supposed to be in there.
What does this say? I don't see it say anything at all.
It says shark repellent. He took it out of his bat utility belt.
That's right. That's where it's kept. I know that because I've seen Batman before.
The shark repellent is from the Batman 1966. So they're just stealing that from this. This is stealing that.
Well, Spielberg was probably a kid, right? He would watch that movie.
I never see people talk about how amazing the effect is of this singing ship, and I think it's incredible.
They don't, huh?
No.
Because it is pretty cool.
I just don't think I've seen it done better.
Is it because there is so much other stuff to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah. That the ship is just kind of lost?
But it's the thing that maybe impresses me the most every time I watch the movie is like watching him try to navigate this sinking vessel, find a place to stab it and shoot it.
Right. For a very limited space, I guess, it's a fun way to keep changing the environment the fight takes place in. Because it's an ocean.
Boy. And remember, this guy's greatest fear is water. This is the most terrifying fucking thing.
You would have thought the shark would take over his position as number one fear. Hey, Brian, guess what?
Chicken butt.
No, that's good. It's not chicken butt. I just poured water on my foot.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. Quint's dead. I was getting kind of bored. I started playing with my bottle of water. I forgot I have the cap off.
Enough of this moment. The shark just flat up steals his weapon. Nope, gotta go.
See ya. What's the shark to do?
Look at this. Look at this model. Like, not model. Look at this ship. It's fucking incredible. How is Spielberg this fucking good at this? Look at this.
Which is why I keep asking you what happened.
He got old.
Every time we see an old Spielberg thing.
You know, we mentioned, I talked to you about this before when we were talking about Citizen Kane. I don't think it was on mic. Where Orson Welles, when he was older, was asked how he did so well with that first movie on his first try. And he said, I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I didn't know the rules. Nobody could tell me no. I just did whatever I wanted to do, and it felt right. That's Spielberg now in 1974. The movie came out in 75. He shoots in 74. By the time he gets to the 80s and he's making, every movie he has is a giant hit, he's figured it out, quote unquote. He could never make this movie after any of his success. He just couldn't do it. He wasn't hungry like that.
Yeah, but I still like a lot of his other movies, right? Like,
sure. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Last Crusade, sure.
I think AI is where I really lost it. I went to see that one in the theater, and I said, what?
Was that before or after Minority Report? Because I didn't hate Minority Report.
You know what? I think it was after, but Minority Report was one of those ones that I'm not a fan of either. No. I was like,
Did you like the Catch Me If You Can?
No, not really.
Yeah, me neither.
See, I think it was that era right there where I felt Spielberg was losing it.
Well, he just makes movies that aren't interest to me anymore.
I don't think they're of interest to anybody.
They do fine. Oh, he made a movie that was interesting to me. I just didn't watch it yet. The West Side Story remake. I love musicals. Whatever, man.
Oh my! So we went to a thing, Kitty and I and the kids, the other weekend, and they had a basket raffle. And Fred apparently does not understand how basket raffles work and put all of her tickets into what was a Stanley Cup, I guess, which is popular these days. And I put Sam put his in a bunch of stuff. Like they had a hockey puck from every team. That was pretty cool. And a bunch of other stuff. What we won. And we had to go back up and pick it up. You know what we won?
No.
We won a year membership to like a musical theater of some kind. A famous theater that does all musicals.
Cool.
I don't like musicals, Brian.
Let me read you some Spielberg movies to see which ones you think are the last good one.
All right, lay it on me.
The Fablemans.
I know. I'm not. Go way back.
West Side Story.
No.
Ready Player One.
Oh, God, no.
The Post.
What?
I don't know. The BFG. The
What?
Big Fucking Giant,
Oh.
I think it's what that is.
No, that's a Roald Dahl book.
Bridge of Spies.
I don't know. I haven't seen any of these, so.
Lincoln.
Duh.
Warhorse.
What?
The Adventures of Tintin.
Who?
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Say what now?
Munich.
Huh?
War of the Worlds.
Ugh.
The Terminal.
What?
Catch Me If You Can.
Aren't those the same movie?
Minority Report.
No.
AI.
Ugh.
Saving Private Ryan.
Ugh.
Amistad.
Ugh.
The Lost World. Jurassic Park.
Nah.
Schindler's List. Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
So you got to go back.
Wow. Oh, shit. Quiet, you fool. Cast, the credits are on. Credit check. Credit check. What's going on?
Well, Bruce was the best boy.
It's over already.
Yeah, they didn't do big credits back then.
No. I'm so broken right now. This is what I live for. This is the only reason I watch these movies, Brian. And you distracted me.
I like that you can see them in the background just reaching shore. The movie's there you go. The movie's going to stop when they get to the shore, though. They don't. There's no fault. I love these movies just to end. See, Christy, she's Bill.
Okay. Well, then I don't know what I read, Brian. I don't know at all. Mrs. Kinder.
Peter Benchley.
Interviewer. Oh, he was a guy.
Oh, he was the guy on the. Was he the guy on the beach that we were saying?
I think it was. Wow. Good for him.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a sad bunch of credits.
Oh, that was the 49th anniversary of Jaws.
And apparently Steven Spielberg stopped being good after Jurassic Park.
1993. He won an Oscar for the next movie that came out, but okay.
Which one was that?
Schindler's List.
Garbage.
Laugh Riot. And Amistad, his other Laugh Riot.
Is that the one with Will Smith?
No, I don't think he's in that.
Oh, okay.
All right. We'll see you next week for what is probably... let me try to remember when this is.
I don't know anymore.
I
just
believe-
watched Jaws. It's 1976.
I believe next week will be A Quiet Place.
Ooh, really?
I think so.
All right.
So. I'm pretty sure that's what's right.
I haven't ever seen that movie. You know
That's
why?
exciting.
Because the kid dies in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I might not make it. It'll be the first movie I don't finish.
I don't believe that's true. I've listened to this podcast. All right. We'll see you later.